Maxwell lost a bid for retrial. A sell-off on Wall Street. The Dow down 490 points at the bell. The S&P down 2%. America is listening to Fox News.
What's for breakfast at KFC under $3.95, you ask? What's for breakfast at KFC that's different than the other guys, you ask? KFC's chicken wrap, sausage wrap, the Colonel's chicken congee, chicken fried steak, sausage biscuit and gravy, and biscuit sandwiches made with KFC's original fluffy biscuits. All for under $3.95 and all only at KFC. Plus, with waffles and the Colonel's chicken fried rice, we've got something for everyone.
So visit KFC for breakfast today. It's finger-licking good.
Hey, it's me. I'm calling because I heard this ad on the radio about free training at Guam Community College for people interested in providing childcare. I heard registration, tuition, and all the fees are covered. And when you're done, they pay you for on-the-job training at a daycare. Anyway, it totally made me think of you. So check out Gita online at investguam.com for what you need to apply, and then call me back. This ad is paid for with federal funds administered by DPHSS.
President Biden pledging to do everything possible to stop human smugglers as the number of dead rises to 50 in a suspected case of trafficking that remains under investigation in Texas. A truck full of migrants left in San Antonio in triple-digit heat.
This was a truck on a back road abandoned with migrants locked in that sweltering heat. At least 3 people have been arrested. Now, President Biden issued a statement earlier calling it horrifying and heartbreaking.
Fox's Griff Jenkins in Eagle Pass, where a border surge continues. The Texas governor says Biden border policies are to blame. The U.S. Supreme Court revives a Republican-drawn map of Louisiana's congressional districts, just reinstating that version after a lower court judge blocked it over concern it might discriminate against black voters. 6 out of 10 Americans disapprove of the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade in a new Monmouth University poll that also finds 2/3 of the public thinks a pregnant woman should have more rights than an unborn fetus in the first trimester. Opinion on that more divided during the second trimester. As airlines and their passengers deal with delays and cancellations blamed largely on the impacts of staffing shortages, American Airlines has an offer for pilots.
Their largest regional carrier, called Envoy, is offering pilots triple pay to pick up trips during the peak summer travel season. The offer applies to open trips between July 2nd, July 31st, and it's coming, of course, as flight cancellations soar ahead of the July 4th holiday weekend. Fox Business's Jerry Willis. American's regional subsidiaries have already agreed to a temporary 50% pay raise for pilots. 3.5 million Americans expected to travel for the July 4th weekend. Airlines and regulators hoping to avoid a repeat of the thousands of canceled flights over Father's Day weekend. Recapping the Wall Street sell-off blamed on inflation woes. The Dow down 491. And Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Get a personal loan for that summer vacation or to pay off those long overdue bills. Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,900 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña, now at the old Nanbo Insurance Building at 475-4545, Upper Tumon 647-5626, or in Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance, here to serve you.
Go green, go hybrid, go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's Best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. It's 6:06 on Wednesday, June 29. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. A man was arrested for attacking a 10-year-old girl known to him. A witness told police that the child was sitting on the curb near her home when 31-year-old Rott Bison placed his arm over her and held her left arm. Court documents state that when the girl got up to walk away, Bison grabbed and squeezed her wrist. He refused to let her go when she told him to, and told her to sit by him. Bison let the child go as she was about to sit down, and that's when she ran away. Officers found Bison a few days later, and he admitted to grabbing the child. He was charged with assault and unlawful restraint as misdemeanors. Meanwhile, a man accused of stealing from a Dedido residence was arrested and caught with drugs. The victim told police that she saw 28-year-old N.P. Comis standing about 10 feet from her home on Monday morning. Court documents state that when the victim told Comis she would call the police, he went to the back of the house and was carrying a toolbox that belonged to her. When authorities checked the area, Comis was seen jumping off the balcony of another residence and running into a nearby jungle area before officers caught him. He told officers he was sorry and asked if he could go home if he were to give back the stolen items. During a search, police found a glass pipe with meth. Comis was charged with possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, theft of property, and criminal mischief. We'll have more news after this.
Gas is expensive, so let the bank come to you. Through our remote deposit capture, you can deposit your checks into your account from your phone. And with our Dynamite Bank Pacific Visa debit card, you can use your money anytime, anywhere. It's the perfect combo.
Now we're banking on the future. Services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Crank it up.
The Guam Election Commission saw 6 filers on the last day, including Democratic Speaker Therese Terlahi and radio and TV personality Daryl Chris Barnett. This raises the number of potential candidates in Guam's 2022 primary elections to 46. Executive Director Maria Pangilinan says while the filings closed at 5 p.m. yesterday, the GEC will continue to review them to make sure the requirements are met, especially the number of petition signatures. She adds that the filers are not official candidates for the primary elections until GC commissioners ratify the candidates for governor, delegate, senators, and attorney general this Friday. There are 38 running for senator, 21 Democrats and 17 Republicans. Doug Moylan and Levin Camacho are the candidates for AG, and Jim Moylan, Talina Nelson, and Judy Wanpat are running for Congress. Meanwhile, the Guam Visitors Bureau and 11 members of the island's travel trade received the Best Organizing Booth Award at the Seoul International Travel Fair. The 4-day event was last weekend and was hosted by the Korea World Travel Fair, and is one of the largest international travel fairs in South Korea. GVB President and CEO Carl Gutierrez says Team Guam worked hard during the overseas mission to showcase the island and reconnect with the international travel trade to rebuild the Korea market. GVB announced how it's establishing strategies in line with new travel trends. More than 100 airlines, travel agents, and media partners in Seoul attended the event to receive a Guam product update and find out what GVB is doing to revitalize the island's visitor industry. The event is an important step to keeping Guam top of mind as a desired travel destination in the Asia-Pacific region. And those are your top stories here on The Point. Now here's Ray with weather.
No, you know what we're going to start with today?
Something else.
Where we're going? Yes. Okay. The weather's the weather. It's Guam. Weather's. Yeah, we'll throw that in there because I don't know. It's good to have news and weather together, right? But today is the 15th birthday of. Are you ready for it? People.
Oh, yeah, I'm so ready, man.
Are we ready? Happy 15th birthday to your iPhone. Was 15 years ago, the 29th, when they first announced the iPhone went on sale, and it ushered in an entire new era in telecommunications and communications, period. There were other phones. And then, what are we down to?
Not as smart.
Now, what are we down to? Like 2, right? Two phone companies. We got the iPhones and the Samsungs. And every once in a while, you'll run into somebody that's got, some third label that nobody's ever heard from. But happy anniversary to the iPhones. Some of you out there may actually have in a drawer somewhere in the house that first iPhone. And if you've got one, send me pictures of it because I want to see. All right, here it comes, the weather that Donna was asking for. Partly sunny today, highs near 87 degrees. East-southeast winds 3 to 6 miles an hour. We've got mostly cloudy in the forecast for tonight. Isolated showers, overnight lows of about 77 degrees. Easterly winds up to 7 miles an hour or so. Thursday night, partly sunny, highs near 86 degrees, mostly cloudy tomorrow night as well. When do we get to the mostly sunny? Do we have anything in here? Was it a Friday, partly sunny? Doesn't look like it. We're going to have to put up with some of the clouds and rain. Heat index today, 94. Sunrise this morning was at 5:57. Earlier showed you some pictures from Sarita Garin of what sunrise looked like out of her balcony. Good job there, girl. Sunset tonight is going to be at 6:52. Hashtag tell the others. There it is. News and weather together, brought to you by Bank Pacific. Banking on the Pacific for next time we get Phil on the line, ask him, when is 68? I mean, it's got to be like right around the corner, right? July?
Close.
Is
We're
where
real close.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, happy 50th birthday to the iPhone. Happy almost 68 to Bank Pacific.
As part of our ongoing commitment to keeping you connected, GTA is proud to participate in the Affordable Connectivity Program. The Affordable Connectivity Program, or ACP, provides eligible households with a $30 credit toward internet or mobile services. And now, if you qualify for ACP, you can get internet for as low as $28 a month. We're making it simple for both new and existing customers to apply this credit toward GTA internet and mobile services. To see if you qualify, visit gta.net. GTA, we start with you.
Are you looking for job opportunities? That's perfect. Taiho is a company based in Korea that provides opportunities for people to work at production sites in the United States. They offer a wide variety of jobs that may suit you. Come and check it out. For more information, visit www.gotomainland.com or go to their office at the old iConnect building or call 671-648-9788. What are you waiting for? Go grab that opportunity and fly out to the mainland.
Portions of the program brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. Also being brought to you by the team over at Wendy's. What have we got for you at Wendy's? It's a brand new, because it's summertime, strawberry chicken salad made with applewood smoked bacon, herb marinated grilled chicken breast, candied almonds. There's strawberries in there, 3-cheese blend, and a sweet and tangy champagne vinaigrette served on a bed of freshly chopped lettuce. Only at Wendy's. We got you.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
That's all we got. 40-some-odd people running for political office around here, and only 2 running for the AG's office. Rico's asking, what happened to the other guy? Where's
Pete?
Pete, repeat.
What's up, Pete?
Where's that guy? Call him up. Ask him what happened.
I'll holler at him.
Holla. Yeah. Go see what's going on. I mean, he calls the radio station all the time, and he was all over the thing yesterday with Mike St. and his lawyers, Stanley and Stanley. Well, that was kind of interesting. Did you catch all of it? Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, Stan and Stanley.
I'll give you my thoughts.
Yeah.
I'll give you my thoughts as the program rolls on. In the meantime, hey, welcome to the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray. Thrilled, as usual, to be here with you on, Tuesday morning, right? No, it's Wednesday. Oh, my God, it's Wednesday. We made all the way to the middle of the week. How about that? Survive the thing. Here's the deal, guys. 888-825-888-TALK is the telephone number. That's how you get a hold of me here. The meme machine is online, as evidenced by pictures from Sarita Garin of sunrise over at her place, as evidenced by pictures from Jeff from over at Pirates Cove. Sunrise.
Beautiful day.
His side over there. So if you're looking for a place to go and turn it in, that's going to be the spot. 4th of July weekend coming up. I think he might have some specials for you. Go visit his page up on the Facebook and see what he's got in store for you. But already an outstanding and great-looking day from his side of the island. What am I looking at here? My buddy in Japan sending me prices. Is that what that is? Is that the price of a gallon of gasoline? 187 yen.
We gotta, but it's probably to the leader, right? I don't know. I gotta do that. I love it when people send me like, here's what the gas prices are in country X, Y, and Z, and then we have to do the mathematics on how many gallons you're getting in a liter, and then how much of American money after the exchange. I don't know. I mean, do we want to turn this into some kind of a contest here this morning? I'd say yes, except I wouldn't know what the correct answer is.
You got to squint your eyes, Ray, when you look at it.
Is that you need to be drinking Asahi Super Dry or something like that, or Kirin or Sapporo to understand what's going on in that picture. That might not even be the price of gas. I could be completely wrong. Maybe an exchange rate, or how much to get into a bar in Roppongi. Could be any number of things. Anyway, 6:17 in the morning. Real Joe gets the phone when you call him at 888-8255-TALK. If that makes it easier for you to remember. Donna D has got big news and headlines. We're going to be going through all morning long with all of the events, primarily from yesterday, and maybe a couple of things that happened overnight. Is that correct, Donna D?
Yes, you are correct, Ray Gibson.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Hey,
morning.
Hi.
Where am I?
I don't know. It's a weird morning. She
What
was
time is
here,
it?
and then when I came into the studio, she was gone, and now she's back again. And generally, I don't normally ask, but where the hell did you go?
I was in the prod room.
Oh, what? Do we have surprises today?
No.
Did you make me a new surprise?
No.
Oh, a surprise for Jerry. Okay, anyway, Donna's going to take care of all that the news and the headline stuff, and we'll give you commentary. Happy to get your commentary as well. Multiple ways to get it to me. You've got the telephone. Hit us up on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, ThePOINT.gu if you want to see what's going on there. We actually do get a lot of communications from people on the Facebook, on the ThePOINT.gu. There are ways that you can press the button and contact us. In fact, some interesting stories generally will come from there as well. 6:18 in the morning. Table of contents. Well, yeah, it was kind of an interesting day yesterday. Once it got to be about 11 o'clock, and there was a flurry of activity on my phone. People saying, "Wait, how do we watch this thing with Mike Sinicolas?" And then it went on the Candid, and a few other, I suppose, other media outlets carried it, but I was watching it on the Candid side because it's my cousin Troy. All that.
Yeah, me too.
And so I'm watching the thing, and then after I'd sent out the link to everybody, then it was, hey, where's Sabrina? Where? But there's only Mikey, and there's Stanley, and there's a bunch of people in the media. But where is Sabrina? And we'll answer that question for you in just a little bit. There was some of that that was taking place. I watched it for as long as I could. It was 11 o'clock. It's the middle kind of my work day when I'm not on the air, and there were a couple of things that I had to pay a little bit more attention to than what was going on in the social media and on Candid. I will say, and it was kind of an annoyance because I had to stop because I had to stop watching because I had work to do. And apparently I might have been like the only guy that was actually working yesterday because it really ticked me off, is the number of high-paid Government of Guam staffers somewhere in the other that were actively trolling the thing. Look, if you're a private citizen, you got an opinion one way or the other. Happy to see it. But I got Bobby Alvarez, who works in the Government of Guam, right?
Yeah.
11 o'clock aren't you supposed to be working? Did you take leave from your Government of Guam job, Bobby, to go and troll Mike Sinicolas and his lawyers to make snarky comments? Chris Carrillo over at Pino's office.
Wow, man.
Did you take leave from your Government of Guam job to go and start trolling? Who else was there? You got Logan
man.
Regis.
Yeah.
What is it? The
Digital engagement
manager.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose maybe.
Oh, yeah, that might be in his realm.
Because it was in the digital region here.
Engaging.
So I'm wondering, did they also have other computers open so that they could do the same kind of trolling going on the Candid site? And then we got another computer with the thing for
we have
the post.
bots in Mumbai, Ray.
What's that?
We have bots in Mumbai.
Bots in Mumbai. I don't know.
Ready, man.
They might have the technology. So if we troll on Candid, we can also troll on PNC and Post, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going, we must have solved all of the problems in the Government of Guam if all we've got these staffers doing is chasing after Mike Sinicolas. And you know what? Maybe it's a confirmation bias here. Maybe because they were gunning so hard for him, it made it easier for me to embrace what he was saying. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
I mean, we've talked about this before. My bias is generally for Mike Sinicolas. We're old pals. We have drinking summits or beer summits together all the time, and we generally, I think, see things in a fiscal conservative vein down in this direction. And so, again, my bias seems to be moving in that direction. If there's somebody that I want to support in the primary election, it's going to be him. Made even more urgent. That feeling made even more urgent because of what I felt was a significant amount of pointless cyberbullying coming from deep inside the administration and deep inside the Democratic Party, of which he is a member. So I'm just going, and maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Yeah, 888-8255, 888-TALK. Put it in the comments, as the man says, and we'll see what happens. It's 6:21, 6:22 in the morning, and let's take a look at these non-cyber bullies over here.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
I like it. 6:22 in the morning, and sure enough, we got the list. This is the app of record here today, ladies and gentlemen, and it shows Rico Blankenfleur back in the top spot here, big man. Way to go. Followed by the hot sister of the program, that would be Pam Duvall, Ruben Mortera, asking out loud. No, saying out loud. Oh, boy, here's a throwback to the late Chick Whitfield. Good morning. Gotta hit my retros and get back to Tamunin. He says, pretty Cerrito Garin, Rico Blankenfleur, I will make it 4 days. Maybe I'm still thinking about it. Almost Friday, 3 days off in the coming weekend. Ooh, yeah, program note. We're not going to be here on the 4th of July, 4th of July holiday. Yeah, we're going to be taking
I was
that
ready.
off. What's that?
I was ready.
With your red, white, and blue?
Yes.
You're going to have...
I was going to wear short shorts.
I was told not to call it a Howley barbecue. Once upon a time. So years and years and years ago, I was in. I happened to be in Washington State for the holiday, for the 4th of July holiday, and somebody said, "Hey, we're going to have a barbecue. You want to come?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'll tell you what. I'll fix up my marination on some ribs and chicken and steak, and it's going to be perfect. He said, "No. Oh, not that kind of barbecue. We're just going to do hamburgers and hot dogs." I said, "Oh, Howley barbecue.
Cookout.
Gonna have Howley barbecue." And apparently,
so easy.
You probably shouldn't refer to it that way. There's some people still pretty sensitive about that word. Look, it's a fine word. It basically means somebody from not here. There are some people. Hope Cristobal is a matter of will refer to as an outsider, like a dirty outsider or something like that. But for me, it just means that folks from someplace else. Oh, Howley kind. Okay, got it. So it doesn't really bother me to hear it or say it unless you put a particular set of words in front of it. I think you know which ones I'm talking about. So something Howley can sometimes be offensive. I get it. But anyway, so yeah, it was a Howley barbecue, and I was sitting there going, "Well, do you want me to help make the fire?" And he said, No, we got a gas grill. So it's like, wait a second. There's almost no work or thought that goes into this. You press the button, flame comes on, take a pre-made thing of hamburger or hot dog, put it on fire, flip it over one time, let it sizzle for a little bit longer, and then you put it on a piece of bread. That was kind of it. And I thought, this is such a letdown. It is such a lot, but I did actually have one of those parties once upon a time because I found out how great it is to be lazy, and so I publicized for a bunch of friends and family the Howley barbecue for the 4th of July over at my place. 620 American cheese. Yes, we're using American cheese on this stuff. Where was I headed? Oh yeah, back to the names here. I got Sarita's there, Ken Polino, Bertha Maza Cruz is there, Anna Marie, Keena McCausland up in Washington State.
On the left-hand side.
Howley barbecues this weekend. I got you. Well, they're going to have the regular Red, White, and Boom party this weekend in Washington. And then about 3 or 4 weeks from now, they will have at the Eagle Lodge, I'm sure of it, one of those Chamorro liberation festivities.
So that's going to be wild.
Keena, send me the paperwork on that. I want to let everybody know. Nate Horn is there. Auntie Bennett Lujan Duenas online. My classmate Ron and Cindy De La Rosa is there. Dennis Benz are hanging out. How'd you do on the Wordle today, buddy? Jay Nauta, Cheryl Ochai, Anthony Quintanides. I see Leslie St. Nicholas is there. Ken Leon Guerrero.
Oh, Biba can.
Biba, he's on the list. I thought I'd printed the thing out because I wanted to do a little bit of database work on it and see what the numbers ended up being at the end of the day. How many Republicans are running for senator? How many Democrats are running for senator? And I think that there are more senatorial candidates on the Democratic side than there are spaces on the ballot. So there may actually be people who will be determined by the voters in the upcoming primary election as the last on the list. Who is going to be coming last on the list on the Democratic side? You've already got an answer for me, I'm sure, at the end of the primary. Carlos Barreto, one of my favorite guys, going. That music really gets my morning going. Right on, right? It was either every once in a while I think about changing it out. We did one day, right? We tried to change out the "Everybody Knows Your Name" theme for "Thank You for Being a Friend" or something like that.
Yeah, it didn't fly.
Like a dodo in church. It was, nobody liked it. I was thinking, there's a couple other songs from that era that get a little bit whimsical about, like the theme from Chico and the Man.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not the new and improved version of it. I mean the theme that they actually used on the TV show. Still gets me kind of misty. Bill Wyndham is there. Benny and Tricia. Sandra Regis.
Biba Sandra
is online. I got Mike Muffness, Valerie S.A. Untalan, Mark Voigtland from the Free Zone, Frank B. Chargaloff. Good to see you there. Greg Baz Knight. Good morning, Guam. And all the Point Familia. Rico B. saying, imagine if MSN was governor and Peter was the attorney general's. Investigations galore. Well, can you imagine if MSN is the governor and Doug Moylan is the attorney general? Investigations and Eric the Eagle galore. Henry Manglotnia watching from Zotnia. I got my buddy Stephen Klein there. Roland Manglotnia. So true, Ray. I get used to hearing that. I don't even know what he's talking about, but whatever it is, Ro, you're absolutely right. Benidoso Tao Tao is there. Forget all the other media news. Candid is number one. Jose Tetpago says, Lunacy, Leon Guerrero's trolls were out. Late lunch for these clowns. Matt Galendez, Pam Duvall, Vince Pangolin says, time for beer. Always time for beer. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Roland saying, preach on, Ray. I'll do it for you. Jess Mendiola. Scott K. Armstrong is there. My bro and producer on the Tall Tales program, Jose Martinez, is there. Post Canteen saying, good morning, all. And whenever I see Post Canteen's icon, it says VFW, I'm reminded that this Friday, the Queen of Hearts drawing and the grand prize is almost $5,000. It's closer to about $4,100, but I'm rounding it up for the guys. Trying to make a big deal about it. Frank Chargaloff, like I said, Jess Mendiola asking, where's Mana? Mana is on the list. Somewhere down on this list here, we've got, and you won't know it because it just says Marianne, because that's the bank name. But she is on this list.
And his wife.
Exactly. She's on the list of people running for office, and once you become a bona fide candidate, which I suppose explains why Chris Barnett had left the program. I guess what was that, the 27th or so of May?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was he's apparently starting the process.
Oh, he's on the list
of running for senator. Yeah, he's on the list. You can see it right there. I didn't know. I forgot his first name was Darrell.
Darrell.
Anyway, is it Darrell?
I don't know.
Okay. And the malfunction. 6:29 in the morning. So what happens is when you become a bona fide candidate, she could stay on the air, but I would have to give equal time, which meant that anybody else that was running for senator would have to do the news and the headlines and put up with me on a regular basis. Very difficult to schedule that kind of thing, and so it's just easier to just step away from the microphone. And it's one of those, we'll watch and see what happens. But I like Donna, and that's cool. Jose Tetpago is really hilarious. They ask why Mike MSN not talking, only his lawyers. Duh. What WTF you have a lawyer for? Then when Mike St. speaks, the first thing out of their mouths is, oh, he's lying because he's blinking or winking or rubbing his ears or whatever. Here's the thing, guys. And the theme for today's program is your friends don't need an explanation and your enemies won't believe it. And I have used that phrase in reference to many in our political world in the past who might have at some point or another had an accusing finger pointed in their direction. But in the very least, Mike St. Nicholas, within a few days of the report coming out from the Ethics Commission and then wildly publicized, with many accusations and incorrect headlines, as it turns out, he faced all of the people in the media. And those people in the media were charged with reading the report, coming up with their own questions, then asking their questions. I don't recall anybody being suppressed. I don't recall anybody dodging any questions. I thought that the lawyers and Mike came out with some very, very interesting points. Now, if you're a Peter or a Chris or whatever, anybody on the all in, I don't expect you to buy anything that you saw on the Facebook yesterday on the Candid News. I don't expect it at all. I expect that you guys are going to continue to go on and say what you're going to say. For me, I watched and listened to a whole bunch of it, and then I had to stop, and I intend to watch and listen to a whole bunch of it a little bit later on, because clearly we're not talking between the House Ethics Commissions and the Department of Justice and the criminal court. There are a whole lot of different ways that these things get reviewed and reported out. And I thought the lawyers did a pretty good job explaining some of that stuff. James Schmidt online, Gemma Bustamante hanging out with us. So is Patty Santiago, Dennis Larson. The B-Man is watching. Jose Martinez says, our top shelf media ought to do a story on all those politician employees who were working the comments during the press conference. And then again, I said top shelf. Keyshawn Marie is there. Mark Voiland says, Howley never bothered me just like you, Ray. I was the token Howley. I'm not a token. All right, for clarity here, if they had the referendum based on the old rules, I could run in it. I've actually got Chamorro blood in me, or what some people think might be Chamorro blood. I'm a Martinez Torres. Family's been here since forever. I am a Familian Pali. Palomo, as it were, which means that Bob Klitsky's wife and I are related. So there you go. Perlita Delamar Garcia saying hello to everybody. Let me see. Hime Boy Vega. Sorry, sweetheart. I don't mean to butcher your first name. It's new to me. I did the same thing back in the 90s living in Lancaster. Had a Howley barbecue. Harvey Egna doing the count for me. 17. Ooh, 17 Republican candidates and 21 Democrat candidates. Kenley and Guerrero says 22 Democrats, 17 Republicans. So we'll watch the mathematics. Harvey, did you count yourself here? So let me see. Now, we'll do the mathematics on that, but it is clear now that there thankfully does need to be some kind of a primary election or some kind of sorting out. So who's going to come in bottom two on the Republican side? Who's going to come in bottom five? Oh, wait, 7 on the Democrat side. Who is going to be politely asked by the voters never to consider running for public office again? Big Sister Shelley online. Barbecue beans and corn on the cob at the Howley Kind Barbecue. Chips and cornbread. I love making cornbread. I put hominy in my cornbread. Just because I like the extra texture and flavor. And near as I can tell, I'm the only one that likes it. But if you're coming to my house, that's what we're having. Rob Salazar on asking, will it rain more today? Rob, the answer is, I don't know. I can check for you. It's 30% chance of rain here in the forecast. I can put the weather gizmo up on the screen so you can see what's going on. Looks like we've got kind of a clear spot for right about now, but you never know with all the swirling stuff that we've got out there. There's the possibility that it could rain again. Is that time of year? Remember we talked about this yesterday. It is the time of year where you can be sitting on the beach and just absolutely burning in the sun, but you look over at the mountains to the south of you or to the left of you, you will note that it is coming down cats and dogs and chickens over there. It just is. Welcome to Guam. Joy in Vanji Gogwe, Mananasizuo's Team Point from Tijan, doing our daily steps. Stay blessed. Hey, good for you. Good for you. I'm reminded that I need to go to Tijan. I got back in my control recently a can crusher. You ever go to? You can buy them at Benson. No, really.
Okay, yeah.
So I started feeling like an obligation to the environment. So I got one of these can crusher deals, so I can take all my beer and soda cans and put it in there and crush it and make them little small things, right? And it is probably one of the most satisfying things in the world to be able to do that. It's just one push down, and all of a sudden you crunch, and it makes the dogs in the backyard bark. And then I've got a bag of these now. It's almost full now. A bag of beer cans and soda pop cans and things like that.
Yeah, aluminum pucks.
And exactly. Yeah. So I want to say that one of the schools up in Tijan has a gate that you can go through, and you can take your aluminum cans and put them in there, and Peggy Denny will be happy.
Oh, you're donating it.
That's exactly what I want to be able to do.
You're not going to walk away with the cash, bro. That's a lot of loot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like how much? Do we? Is there a number?
I don't know the math,
All
man.
right. My vast and unpaid research department, that is people watching on Facebook and YouTube, what's the going rate for aluminum cans? Because this thing is, it's a few pounds now by now. So I'm kind of, I want to know. Real Joe says I might be able to make some loot. Is there enough there to buy another 12-pack and restart the process, I guess is the question. Who's there? Rob Salazar and Joey and Vanji Gogui, Manana Sidzuis. Good to see Ree Kanata out there. Good morning. Junk Muffness, Pat and Norma Jean Flores. I got Matt Galendez. I agree with you, Ray. Your friends will believe you without any explanations. Your enemies will never believe you no matter what you say, so there's no point in wasting the saliva. Verna Chargaloff Mendiola is there. Hey, Verna, nice to see you online. I'll let the process determine whether MSN did wrong or not. But did he have to wear a purple tracksuit for the press conference? Verna says it's 16:30 Tuesday here in North Carolina. Whoa. Cracker Barrel cornbread. Oh, that's so sweet.
Cracker Barrel.
North Carolina. Now, where exactly in North Carolina? I got an invitation to run because I signed up for it years ago. I got an invitation to run. There's a half marathon in Asheville, North Carolina, and Asheville might be one of the prettiest places on that side of the planet that there is of all time. There's a castle. There's a bunch of Vanderbilts or somebody like that built an actual castle in Asheville, North Carolina. And in the process of building it, this is back 200 years ago, in the process of building it, they had to import all these artists, artisans, people that cut stone, et cetera, et cetera. And so they built them. Asheville is actually built on the remains of this. It's an artist colony now of all of these, a little town that they built of nothing but contractors and construction workers that would eventually go and build this. Koreans, yes. Koreans. But if you get a chance, I always said, one of these days I'm going to get married over at the castle in Asheville because they do that. You ever watch the movie Richie Rich?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The castle that Richie Rich lives in is the castle in Asheville. And if you didn't know that, then you should go. Him and boy Vega says it's my handle. Okay. A.K.A. James Vega. Okay, bro. Now I know who I'm talking about. Elen Leon Guerrero, was it just me or did some of the reporters in the press conference not understand the words due process? No, it's not just you. Vivian Castro Leon is there. Dennis says Chris is going to be right at home with all of the other comedians. Trolls wanting MSN lawyers to stop representing their clients was the dumbest thing at the presser yesterday. I hear you, man. I hear you. Andrew Santos Tidenko is there. Ramon, Mom's tree got Bula Pugwa. Come Easter egg hunt, says Big Sister Shelley. Yeah, I passed by the house the other day and saw the Pugwa tree that I planted for my mother. Got to be 25 years ago now. And here's the thing. I don't have a pole long enough now to get to it.
Those get tall, man.
Used to be I could stand on the roof of the house and just reach over and pick them.
Yeah.
But now anymore, I need one of those firefighter ladders. Dale Audette, Bertha Bonza Cruz says Asheville is beautiful. One of the coolest towns ever. Asheville, North Carolina. Joey Kitsutu is online, et cetera, et cetera. So a huge crowd today and getting bigger all the time. Thank you very much for awakening to what is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. A bunch of people on the Facebook side and growing numbers on the YouTube side as well. Why? Well, it's like I said, you get the Facebook side, which is kind of the fancy take off your shoes kind of, pretty foyer of the Ray Gibson Show. And then you've got
yourself.
Yeah, and then you've got the YouTube side, which is the dirty kitchen where there's two coolers, a red one and a blue one, a bunch of guys kind of just sitting around trying to hit on Gemma Bustamante. I don't know whether it's working or not, but hey, it's me. 888 again, 8255 is the telephone number, and 797 if you got something working on the memes, send that out to me. 797-8255. Love to see all of them, and many of them I can actually put on the air. Many of them I can actually post up on the screen. But every once in a while, there are some of what we like to refer to as the NSFW, not safe for work pictures that come up, and for that, just DM me and I'll give you my private WhatsApp number, and you can send those over there. In 20 minutes, it'll be 7 o'clock in the morning, 20 minutes away from the opening of CPK in Agania. They're ready for breakfast for you, and they'll open the doors in just 21 minutes from now. In the meantime, we're going to take a news break here with Donna De Jesus with all of the big news and headlines off of Donna. What happened?
Let me tell you. The San Nicolas Matanani Salas team is staying in the race. Delegate Mike San Nicolas says he has nothing to apologize or take responsibility for following the recent public release of an ethics investigation's findings of substantial evidence of criminal conduct. During a 2-hour live-streamed media conference, San Nicolas said that no formal charges have been filed at all. He adds that politics in D.C. is very ugly and it's easy for the territorial guy to be the whipping boy. Meanwhile, GDOE submitted its report on student PEBT to Public Health last Friday. This means there could be another round of SNAP benefits for public school students to cover the cost of meals lost when classes were canceled at the beginning of school year 2021-2022. Almost 28,000 public school students could benefit from the program, and it may only be for students enrolled in GDOE during the school year that just ended. Charter schools will not be included in the program. Meanwhile, Governor Lulian Guerrero says she will work closely with the legislature to continue providing women access to abortion care. The U.S. Supreme Court's reversal of Roe v. Wade and Casey v. Planned Parenthood allows states to set their own laws on abortion, including bans on the procedure. The governor says her position is centered over the right to women's health care to include everything, including termination of a pregnancy. And those are your local headlines on The Point.
Yeah, if you ever wondered where she was on the topic, you've got the answer now, clearly and definitively. 6:42 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. And shouts on the YouTube side, including Who's Your Big Daddy 06. First in line this morning, Ghislaine got 20 years. Are we going to see that list of clients anytime soon? Suicide watch for her, as a matter of fact. She had some interesting things to say. Kitsutsu in Japan saying, Botas si Mike. Elvis Canete says, Dueñas Point Buenos Point YouTubers, behave yourselves, enjoy the show, and hit the thumbs up button for Ray. Living in the Pacific saying, no cooler here yet. Kitsutsu in Japan says, heading to Osaka this Saturday, going to be super hot. Oh my God, Osaka, and I'm an old Tokyo boy. I love going to Tokyo. As far as I'm concerned, you can keep your Disneyland. There's nothing for me more fun than walking around the Shinjuku area, Shibuya, late nights over in Roppongi, and goofing off in Tokyo, Ginza. But then I discovered Osaka, and there's a whole complete other vibe in Osaka.
Have you gone that way to Nara?
No.
Where they have the deer in the park?
No.
Nara Park?
No.
Oh, you gotta go there.
No.
They're so ballsy.
No.
They'll just walk into the store. They sell biscuits or like these cookies for you to buy, so you can feed them.
Oh, that's so sweet. No, my experience in Osaka was we stayed at a Sofitel or something like that, which was right in the train station. So frankly, you never needed to leave the train station. If you did, if you left the hotel, you go downstairs. There's a train station, and you can buy anything that you need on the whole wide world, or eat any kind of food in the whole wide world at the train station. But once you walk out the doors, if you just keep walking in one direction, then you get to that place where they've got the big animated crab and the big huge sign of the guy running. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. Hotan Dori something Dori. I didn't know I was going to talk about this, so it's not like I looked up the name of the place that you can't remember either. So no judging there, Donna. It's 6:44 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. I'll be right back.
Are you looking for a new place to hang out with your friends? Let's go along the sidelines at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Located at 154 Iriarte Road, Unit 4 and 5 in Tamuning behind Royal Bigs. Sidelines, a hidden gem with nothing but great things to offer. Great atmosphere, great food, top shelf drinks, and a great team. What are we waiting for? Let the fun begin at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Open daily from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. See you there.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Celebrating the graduating class of 2022, Whopper Wednesday is back. Every Wednesday in June, visit participating Burger King restaurants and say, I love the Whopper. And you'll get a free flame grilled Whopper sandwich with the purchase of any Whopper combo meal. Top off your meal with french fries or onion rings and a refreshing Coca-Cola. Tell your family and friends and enjoy your Whopper Wednesday in June. Available at BK Hagåtña, Tumon Bay, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. Congratulations to the class of 2022 from your friends at Burger King. Be your way.
6:46 in the morning, taking a look at what's happening in traffic. A little bit busier up in the north end than usual. A little bit of traffic up in Gigo just before you get to the entrance to the main village itself up in Gigo town. People up there know where exactly I'm talking about. Expect some delays around there. Don't see anything happening up at Anderson Air Force Base. We do have some traffic on Waiseng Song and Marine Corps Drive, so beware of that. Interesting, we've got some traffic patterns moving in the Adakau area. But it looks like it might be an accident. That's the way I look at these things. When I've got traffic slowing down in two directions, usually indicative of an accident. Maybe around the entrance to Laddie Heights, so expect some delays if you're moving through there. That just means it's going to be easier to get to Marine Corps Drive from everybody that's already moved through the Machate area. Machate. Interesting traffic patterns that we're seeing as you get closer and closer to the Payless up there. 1 and 3 running fairly smooth. We don't see a whole lot of traffic over at 1 and 16. 16 looking all right. A little bit of intersection traffic until you get to 8, 10, and 16. And a little bit of traffic getting into Tees in here this morning. You're looking at Marine Corps Drive southbound in the Upper Tumon and Tamuning area. Intersection traffic through there. Looks like it's busy northbound right around the ITC building. Don't know what's going on there. Maybe just a whole lot of people in the intersection there. Getting into the downtown Hagåtña area. Don't see too much that's going to slow you down over by the auto spot and looking at traffic coming off of not Roy T. Demian, but the street that brings you to the relic, the ruins of the old Hagåtña swimming pool. I think some people will remember that. Ruins. Yeah, no, the ruins. That's what I'm going to start referring to it as the ruins. Because nothing is ever going to happen with that. It'll just slowly crumble and decay. Like I was going to say like Nan Madol or something like that, but unlike Nan Madol, that is going to be there. It is legacy, ladies and gentlemen, to current leadership of the island of Guam.
There. Here lies the former pool.
Ruins there. The sightings of Amelia Earhart there once upon a time, if you know what I mean. A little bit of traffic down around the PD area, and then, of course, the usual round of traffic getting into and out of the Sumai, the Naval Base in Sumai, and Route 2 coming out of Agate and Santa Rita. At 6:40 into the Ray Gibson Show. Be right back.
Half a day, this is Honey. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
Take your business to new heights with the United Business Credit Card. Earn 30,000 bonus miles after spending $3,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. Plus, earn 3 times the miles per $1 spent on United tickets through United until April 30th, 2023, and 2 times the miles thereafter. Visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com United Business for more information and to apply for your United Business Credit Card today. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Yes. 6:49 in the morning. Here's another place that's going to say yes to you, and that's the guys over at Nissan. You want a car, they want to sell you a car. Go to NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web. Take a look at the incredible inventory that they have. Pick out the color, pick out the model that you want to buy, and then go to the actual Nissan spot over across from Infusion and in Upper Tumon. Take a look at in real time and in real life. Go ahead, kick the tires, take a test drive. We absolutely encourage test drives. And then you put your deal together. You're going to get a great price, number one. And number two, you don't need a down payment. Zero down. It's a big summer sales event that they've got going on over there, and they want to give you an incentive to go in. So how about this? Keep your money. Keep your down payment money. We know times are tight. Get into the car. A lot of them get better than 30 miles to the gallon, which is a bonus right then and there. And then 1.99% APR, which is about as low as you're going to get on an interest rate these days. It all starts, like I said, let your keyboard do the talking with NissanGuam.com.
Getting you back to the talk faster. It's the Ray Gibson Show.
Randy Landis, Perlita Della, Mark Garcia, TJ Mendiola online here this morning. Love talking to him. If you get a chance to yak with the guy, ask him how Dubai was. Now, the only thing I know about Dubai is there's lots of Filipino maids. That's
oh, yeah.
I think that's it.
Most of their workforce out there.
I'm following all of them on Instagram.
Took all of our laborers, dude.
Yes. You get like Sunday afternoons in big busy parts of town. They're out there doing the Ocho Ocho dance. No, it's true.
I love that.
Seeing the same thing and see the same thing out in Hong Kong, as a matter of fact. Let me see. Other folks online. Pat Bumba, good to see Benidosu Tautau. Realistically, it's become all about the politics. With everything going on in the world, just a matter of time before the responsible members of society rise up. MT Farron agrees and says, we're coming. Ismael Velez is there. He's going to be in charge of security. He's my sergeant-at-arms. Carlene Harker, MP Ogo, Martin Mendoza. I got to say good morning to Jesse Nanetti, Aurelio Pereda, Joe Dizon, Marie Arejo Kaingat is online. Let me see, Ina Lee is there. We should put a sign in the Aganya Pool. Magellan swam here. MJ Regis, Bill Marino, and Marvin Francisco rounding it out for us. 6:52 in the morning. We get into some other, non-Mike Sinicolas headlines. While everything else was going on yesterday, I got a note from Michelle Franquez, working, spokesperson for the Department of Education, and apparently it's out. The facilities plan has been made public. Now, I didn't actually see the facilities plan because I'm not John Fernandez or Mark Mandiola or any other member of the Ed Board. But eventually, I think I'd like to see it because I'd like to see how they're going to be upgrading the Department of Education facilities. And based on what I've seen recently, there's a whole bunch that sure could use it. Mark Mandiola is online. Good morning, Mark. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Ray. How's today? I'm doing well. We came off our board meeting last night. So, yes, for highlighting that, yeah, we did receive from the superintendent the final, facilities master plan. It's a huge document. It's about 250 pages. I provided that to the chair of the committee, Ms. Maria Gutierrez, who's in charge of the Safe and Healthy Committee. But we got a cursory review of it the last 2 days that the superintendent provided us electronically. Be more than happy to provide that to you. Of course, that's going to be before the board to make it, of course, to ratify that proposal. And so, I think as one of John's parting gifts to the department is to basically give a baseline of where we're at with the facilities and how we tie those resources. Obviously, we got these funding source from the federal government, about $100 million towards those improvements. And so, of course, with the cost of everything going up, a couple years ago, if you recall, the Army Corps of Engineers provided a facilities, it's kind of like a facilities master plan, or the review of that at that time. And so now this is updated. There was a lot of people involved. I remember we going around doing, getting all the stakeholders involved, school administrators, parents, families. They held a couple of public hearings. And we were able to put this thing together. And so,
well, hit me with a couple of highlights in it. In my head, the sore thumb for the Department of Education has always been places like Simon Sanchez and Southern High. It's such a disgrace what has happened to Southern after all of these years, and with all the hopes and expectations. You will recall that people did ribbon cuttings, and the government of Guam patted itself on the back, and then the whole place just has become a disgrace. I hate passing by there because you see just how much potential has been wasted.
So, of course, we obviously got support from the federal government to the Department of Interior as part of the funding and the resources to get this thing through. So some highlights I think that's important is looking at the sustainability clause of just a modernizing of our facilities. And so, of course, there's some pilot programs going on. JFK is looking at some solar on top of their facility and what that's going to look like. And that one of the things that with cost of construction and all these things, of course, it's a substantial amount, but a lot of modernization that needs to occur in a lot of the schools, upgrading of the restroom facilities, upgrading of the canopy walkways. I know there was a lot of PTOs advocating for walkways.
Benevento Middle School. As a matter of fact, they've been asking for relief from that for years.
Right. There was a lot of advocacy towards that, and I believe that project has been completed, or if not, it has been should be completed at this point. But there's a lot of other issues that of course, structural wise, security. So these facilities master plan gave each of the individual schools an opportunity to put forth what is important to them in terms of priorities.
When do we start seeing work? When do we start seeing contractors in the facilities? When do we start seeing hammers getting swung and screwdrivers getting turned?
Yeah, I believe some work has already been started with the beginning of some of the funding that has come through. I know at Agadi Johnson Middle School, for sure, my kids go to school there. They repaired the whole entire walkway leading from the student drop off all the way to the main campus. And that work has been completed. I do know that in some of the other schools, but I think with this plan, it basically gives the priorities set for the different schools and how these things are procured. Of course, it's a procurement timeline that needs to be followed. But now that this is before the board, this is where we, as part of the strategic plan that we've launched, is how do we put the resources into it. Now that we have the federal funding, to support that, we got to fill the gaps where there may need.
DOE can do its own procurement, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the thing. We got a tremendous amount of federal dollars going in through to the department.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to take a little tangent on this one, Ray. So we're expecting a letter from U.S. Ed on July 1st, basically about the high-risk status. I think the department, I reported to the board last night, I think we were able to show the visitors that came out a couple weeks ago that we have made significant progress and that we are able to manage the resources that has been given to us through grants. And so
that's a delightful tangent you're taking. Are you suggesting that before there might actually be a real Independence Day for the Department of Education?
Yeah, for me, I just feel confident in it. I sat in a lot of the meetings with them, and I don't want to, speculate as to what U.S. said, but I just think that, the team that we put together and the responses we were able to provide, and it was the first time they all came out to the island in such a long time. And when John and I visited Secretary Cordona, he actually spent about 15 minutes with us. And to get that type of FaceTime with Secretary of Ed was, pretty good. And we pretty much laid it out. We knew we didn't have much time to really tell Guam's story, but 15 minutes, we said, you need to come out and see it for yourself. And so he sent the whole team, and he was able to send Chris Soto, who was his special assistant, and basically he's one of his top advisors. And Chris was on the ground. He was able to meet with our leaders, and he was able to meet with us. He was able to walk through the facilities, and we were able to explain to our employees at the department, despite the challenges, we're able to say this is how we are managing the resources and the grant that is being administered by DOE. So
keep me posted on that. I've only got about a minute left, and there's one other point that I want to make. People asking about their neighborhood school. Jay wants to know about GW. I agree with Jay. I was actually on the backside of GW a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to use the word disgraceful again. There's so much there's great property out there and great features, but it's just junk all over the place. Somebody needs to go and bulldoze that. The other point that I want to make is let's stop putting regular, like at the house or at the mall, bathroom fixtures in the schools. We've seen what the kids do to those. What we need to do is do like they have in prison. Everything is just steel. They cannot break it. They cannot destroy this. They can't even scratch their name into these things. I think we need to get the same kind of fixtures that they use in penal facilities and install those in the schools, and then not ever worry about them ever again.
Well, now that we have this plan, we're probably going to tackle this. Ms. Gutierrez is probably going to lead the effort, but towards the end of July, we'll probably go through the report, of course, through committee, and then make those recommendations.
Happy to get my copy of it. I got to break away, Mark. I'll talk to you pretty soon. All right, and then let me know what the DOE and the state has to say about the third-party arrangement. I think that'll be interesting. Go ahead and leak that to me later, okay?
All right. Okay.
I appreciate it. At 7 o'clock, here's Fox News.
Former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson calling it un-American and unpatriotic when President Trump tweeted during the riot that Vice President Pence didn't have the courage to do what needed to be done while appearing to support rioters' chants to hang Pence. Hutchinson telling the riot committee that as a White House staffer,
I remember feeling frustrated, disappointed, and really, it felt personal. It was really sad.
She was an aide to then White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and says Trump ignored warnings about summoning people to the Capitol, also dismissing the presence of armed protesters. The former president dismissing her testimony in social media posts today, also calling Hutchinson bad news. A suspected case of human smuggling now blamed for at least 51 deaths in Texas, where a tractor-trailer full of migrants was abandoned yesterday. The Texas governor blaming Biden administration border policies. President Biden calls the deaths horrifying and pledges to do everything possible to stop smugglers and traffickers. He's at a summit in Spain where NATO leaders are discussing a new strategic reality stemming from Russia's war in Ukraine and how to adapt.
We are ready to face the threats of Russian aggression because, quite frankly, there's no choice. It's been the most significant abuse of power since World War II and an invasion of that many people into another country in Europe.
Turkey now agrees to drop its opposition to Sweden and Finland joining NATO, signing a memorandum after security concerns were addressed. The longtime companion to Jeffrey Epstein gets 20 years in prison for helping him sexually abuse teenage girls. Ghislaine Maxwell has denied any wrongdoing, but said in court she hopes her sentence brings closure for the victims. America is listening to Fox News.
Subway's Eat Fresh Refresh brings you the sequel to the Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki. Enjoy the new Sweet Onion Steak Teriyaki. Delight your taste buds with tender, juicy steak marinated in the tangy new Sweet Onion Teriyaki sauce and stacked high on toasted artisan Italian bread, topped with American cheese, green peppers, red onions, and drizzled with the tangy new Sweet Onion Teriyaki sauce. The new Sweet Onion Steak Teriyaki is the height of food craveability. Give in to your cravings at Subway. Eat fresh.
Choosing health insurance for my family is difficult. I need to know our health insurance will protect us now and in the future. Take Care members have access to the island's largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs, and a high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers, including the convenient one-stop FHP Health Center and urgent care. My family choose Take Care. Your family should also consider choosing Take Care. Call 671-647-3526 for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
A former Nebraska congressman avoids prison time in a corruption case.
Former U.S. Rep. Jeff Fortenberry is sentenced to 2 years of probation, a $25,000 fine, and community service after a federal California jury found the Nebraska Republican guilty in March of falsifying and concealing material facts and 2 counts of lying over a campaign donation from a foreign national in 2016. That, according to evidence presented at his trial, was arranged through other people at a fundraiser in L.A. Fortenberry has maintained his innocence, and he plans to appeal.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Voters are picking someone to fill the seat in a special election today. 7 other states also have elections, mainly primaries or runoffs.
In South Carolina, Republican Senator Tim Scott will learn which of 2 Democrats, author Catherine Fleming Bruce or State House member Crystal Matthews, will challenge him in the November election. Matthews is also seeking re-election to the State House and is not challenged in that primary. In Mississippi, GOP 3rd District House member Michael Guest hopes to fend off a final challenge from former naval pilot and flight instructor Michael Cassidy. The winner faces former Obama and Clinton campaign staffer Shuwaski Young this fall. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
In Illinois, 2 of the races pit current members of Congress against each other. The New York governor's race has primaries on both sides of the aisle as incumbent Democrat Kathy Hochul tries to become the first woman elected governor in the state. She took over last year when Governor Andrew Cuomo resigned. Walt Disney's board of directors is giving a 3-year contract extension to CEO Bob Chapek, who faced controversy over the company's position on a Florida ban of sexual identity and orientation discussions in younger grades. The board's vote for Chapek was unanimous. Elisa Brady, Fox News.
Half a day. Patsy Gogri from Security Title here with information about what a title company does. The title side of our business determines who owns a property and guarantees your ownership with a title insurance policy. The escrow side acts as an independent third party, managing the transfer of money and documents between the buyer, seller, lenders, and others. Security Title has the management of real estate closings down to a science. Give us a call. We are here to help.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Hoffaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Donna De Jesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. The son of Suruhanu and ex-Port Authority police officer Frank Cosa Nicholas testified in Superior Court yesterday, apologizing to a woman his father is accused of sexually assaulting 2 years ago. He says he was shocked and caught off guard when first hearing about it. He told the court he had met his father at Tengisan Beach the day before the incident and noticed the woman with him, saying the two seemed to be already familiar with each other and later left the pair behind. Assistant AG Rochelle Canto told the jury that Frank San Nicholas took the woman to a remote cave for a spiritual massage when the sexual assault occurred. San Nicholas was acquitted in December of 2021 of similar charges involving allegations by a different woman. And a boat that sank at the Agate Marina is said to have been a result of vandalism. Joe San Nicholas says he got a call on Monday morning that his was submerged. At the scene, San Nicholas says a water valve was opened and a hose was left in the boat, pouring water into it and causing it to sink. He believes someone opened the valve, saying there's a lot of vandalism in the area. He adds that others have been victimized, saying another man had his anchor stolen. San Nicholas argues that the marina needs more security, saying the padlock on the gate where his boat was docked is rusted and unusable. Port Authority General Manager Rory Respicio says Port Police and Safety Divisions are looking into San Nicholas's vandalism claim. We'll have more news right after this.
Celebrating the graduating class of 2022, Whopper Wednesday is back. Every Wednesday in June, visit participating Burger King restaurants and say, I love the Whopper. And you'll get a free flame grilled Whopper sandwich with the purchase of any Whopper combo meal. Top off your meal with french fries or onion rings and refreshing Coca-Cola. Tell your family and friends and enjoy your Whopper Wednesday in June. Available at BK Hagåtña, Tumon Bay, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. Congratulations to the class of 2022 from your friends at Burger King. Be your way.
Governor Lou Leon Guerrero says she will work closely with the legislature to continue providing women access to abortion care. The U.S. Supreme Court's reversal of Roe v. Wade and Casey v. Planned Parenthood allows states to set their own laws on abortion, including bans on the procedure. Guam attempted to ban almost all abortions in the 1990s through Public Law 20-134. The law was determined unconstitutional at the time, and a federal court placed an injunction on the ban. But the law was never repealed. Senator Mary Torres and Speaker Tina Muñoz Barnes asked the AG whether the decision would have any effect on Guam. The AG's office issued a statement saying that after the injunction on Public Law 20-134, abortion law from the 1970s has remained in effect, which allows abortion within 13 weeks of pregnancy, within 26 weeks if the child would be born with grave defects or if the pregnancy is the result of rape or incest, and if it is determined that the pregnancy would pose a danger to the mother. The governor says her position is centered over the right to women's health care to include everything, including termination of a pregnancy. Meanwhile, the San Nicolas Matanani Salas team is staying in the race. Delegate Mike San Nicolas says he has nothing to apologize or take responsibility for following the recent public release of an ethics investigation's findings of substantial evidence of criminal conduct. During a 2-hour live-streamed media conference, San Nicolas said that no formal charges have been filed at all. He adds that politics in D.C. is very ugly and it's easy for the territorial guy to be the whipping boy. San Nicolas stresses that the report was finalized without formal charges and no formal determination of guilt coupled with a process that wasn't being followed correctly. So Nicholas and his lawyers claim that a blackout period for the committee to take action close to elections was about to be in effect. The delegate clarified that the committee doesn't have a specific interest in the outcome of Guam's contested gubernatorial primary, but that it would have an interest in sending a message to members that there are other ways that they can punish you by impacting the elections. And those were your top stories. Back to Ray with the weather.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm going to play a video. But actually, I'm going to play a couple of videos this hour. One of them is going to be Sabrina Salas Martinani and a video that she posted up on Facebook yesterday. It runs a couple of minutes, but I thought it was kind of interesting what she had to say and the trials and tribulations of somebody not necessarily from inside the great wide world of politics jumping into the fray. It's one of those. Wow, I didn't realize how many fake friends I had until I actually started running for office and running for office with Mike. No, it's like that, 7-Eleven in the morning. But I wanted to play this video. I don't know why, but we during the news break here. I don't know. I haven't played the audio, but during the news break, Don and I were talking. We were talking about because I really believe this. I
Why
really
am
believe
I
this.
asking if the audio is clean when I'm looking at this, Ray?
It's because I don't know. I don't know how somebody's going to be able to describe this. Basically, up on the screen is a picture of a Japanese toilet. So we went from talking about the toilets that I want installed in the schools that we got here on Guam. I'd say anything over middle school, right? We need to go in there and absolutely fortify the bathroom facilities. And I think that the smart move would be to go and put in what they have in prisons. and like if you go what. Come
They're
on,
so easy to clean, Ray. It's all stainless steel.
We've all been in prison, haven't we? Come on. So
absolutely.
Here's what we got. This is not one of those Toto or American plumbing things. This is a stainless steel pooper. It's a pooper and a sink and a kind of a makeup area all in one. If you see what I'm talking about here, you see it? It's got a little space up on the top, so you got some place to put pictures or toilet paper or something like that. And then it's got a sink, stainless steel sink, which is, I'm sure, because they make it for prisons, indestructible. Let's stop giving these kids expensive toilets that they just break. And my guess is also that it's probably going to be very, very difficult to put something in it to make it not flush. Because sometimes the kids like to do that, jam the toilet paper in there and because they're stupid.
There's no toilet seat either.
We've raised some really stupid kids. It's okay, but we don't need a toilet seat on this because it's already in the shape of the actual buttman of. And we're raising fatter kids these days too. Have you noticed that we don't have, they don't need the
strong
seat.
toilet, Ray.
Exactly. That's what I think we need to put in it. So, and then that conversation morphed into, there's a sink on top, just like in Japan. And I don't know why we don't do this here. Can you imagine how much space you would save in your bathroom? And maybe I'm not saying the nice bathroom for guests, right? But if you just got a outside bathroom. Because it goes with your outside kitchen and stuff like that. So in Japan, they've got the very expensive bidet style seats. Number one, but number two, a lot of toilets in Japan have a sink on the top of them. Now, again, this is one of those things where you got kids and they're going, there's no way I'm ever going to brush my teeth or wash my hands with that because it's right on top of the toilet. But the water comes from the fresh water pipe. It's not like it comes from the bowl.
It's not circulating through the bowl.
No, it doesn't come from the bowl. It's already in there. And anything that you put on, when you wash your hands, it goes back into the tank. And then that's the same water that will eventually be used to flush out whatever it is that you put in the toilet part of it. They're absolute genius. And that begins, I think, my admiration for the people of that tiny kingdom. So I'm just saying. All right, here's the weather. It's going to rain. Isolated showers are in today's forecast. Not raining right now. It's actually kind of nice out there. Partly sunny. Highs near 87 degrees. There's east-southeast winds up to about 6 miles an hour today. Not a whole lot going on tonight either. Mostly cloudy skies. Lows around 77 degrees. For Thursday, which is tomorrow, scattered showers under partly sunny skies. Scattered showers under mostly cloudy skies tomorrow night. And scattered showers and partly sunny skies in the forecast all the way into Friday. The Friday of the 4th of July weekend. What time are we getting out of here? Why don't we just blow off the show, start like 9? You want to just split at 9 and then, I don't know, go and check out all the Jeju Air Korean hot pants that are flying in? Fine, we'll work till 10. Sunset tonight, 6:52. There it is, news and weather together. 93.3, this is The Point.
I'm attorney Thomas Fisher, and I'm running for senator. I'm not the typical candidate you're used to seeing. I have no relatives here, no political obligations, and no personal agenda. If you're tired of being disappointed by your lawmakers, maybe different is what you need.
Vote Thomas J. Fisher for senator. If you want different, vote different. Log on to tomforguam.com for his platform and look for Tom on Instagram and Facebook.
I'm Thomas Fisher. I not only approved this message, I wrote it.
Drake Diaz, treasurer.
Attention! Lolita Kamet is now with Hoffaday Realty. She'll always be that hardworking and passionate real estate professional who is committed to helping you make a difference in your life and helping you achieve the American dream of home ownership. She also specializes in commercial leasing, land sales, local residential sales leasing, military and corporate relocation. So for all your real estate needs, call Lolita Kamet now with Hoffaday Realty at 688-6743. That's 688-6743.
Wait, I'm going through the list here. Real Joe.
Well, pardon me.
I'm going through the list. This is it from the Guam Election Commission.
Is it official?
It's the well, no. It is pending the resolution or issues with the packets that have been brought in. You got a lot of T's that you've got to cross and I's that you've got to dot, and verification of signatures, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So pending full-on acceptance by the Election Commission, which we'll find out about, I think, on Friday the 1st, is when all of that's going to happen. But in the meantime, what I'm looking for on the list is political unknowns. And it's kind of hard to describe that. Political unknowns, that is people that have never been in political office before. But I mean, it's there's fine lines, right? You get like we just played that ad from Tom Fisher, right?
Yes.
But there are other, like we know him from the courts, but there are others that we know from private sector and working in the government, but have never been actually elected to anything. Like my cousin Freddie Burdalio worked in a police department, obviously.
Yeah,
Veterans Affairs, et cetera, et cetera. He's run for office before, but it never actually won anything yet. So I'm going to put them kind of on the outliers list. And then you've got the Belik Bayans, and there's a number of Belik Bayans that are running. That is people that have been senator before that would like to become senator again, including my baby sister Montecillo Tyron. But there are others, and including somebody like Doug Moylan, who used to be the attorney general, doesn't like what he's seen with the guy doing a job currently, and decided he wanted to be the attorney general again. So I'm kind of looking through all of this to get the names and maybe a sense from some of the new guys. And there's another tally that we've got here, and that is the tally of the number of incumbents that are running again. Now that the paperwork has all been put in, we know who the incumbents are that want a seat in the 37th Guam legislature, because many of them, I'm sure, believe they did such a great job while they were in the 36th Guam legislature.
35th.
And 35th, and a couple of 34s in there as well. 7:18 in the morning. We'll get around to Jerry Roberts in a second. In the meantime, portions of the program are brought to you by my friends over at APL. That's American President Lines, a global presence with a local home, and the team over at Subway, where the Eat Fresh, Refresh Revolution continues. They've got the sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Move over. How about the new sweet onion steak teriyaki? Tender, juicy steak. They marinate this for hours in a new sweet onion teriyaki sauce. Stack it up on your favorite breads, American cheese, green peppers. You don't have to have American cheese. Maybe you're like that basketball player that didn't even want to be around for the national anthem, right? And now she's in a Russian jail, and asking those same Americans that she doesn't like, won't do the anthem for, to get her out of there. Anyways, there are a lot of different kinds of cheese that you can get there. Green peppers, red onions, drizzled up with the new sweet onion teriyaki sauce. Give in to your cravings at Subway. Eat fresh.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
Yep. 888-8255, 888-TALK. Beware the media is lying to you. My name is Ray Gibson. I'm in the media, but I'm not the media. The real media is lying to you. How many of you, when we were growing up, we were kids and going, wow, Rolling Stone magazine is the cool music magazine ever in the whole wide world. But unfortunately, they delve with their idiotic brains into the land of politics and policy. And they came out just yesterday with a headline that annoyed me to pieces, because you would think it's Rolling Stone. Maybe there was somebody that actually read the ruling that came out the other day. The Supreme Court grants victory to the reintroduction of prayer in public schools. What? They did. Wait a hold on. They did what? That's not quite the way it worked. The Constitution. They find that the Supreme Court protects on-field prayers by public high school coaches. The conservative majority said in a 6-3 ruling. Joseph Kennedy, a former assistant coach at a Washington State high school, prayed after the games, and sometimes the students joined him in these prayers, and sometimes students from the players from the other team would come out, and we're going to pray for good health, and we're going to pray for sportsmanship, and pray for the opportunity to be able to do stuff like this together. Then the school told him to stop. School board said, you got to stop, and he said, no, I don't have to, and they fired him, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States of America, and it's all over now. It turns out he is allowed to pray pretty much wherever he wants, whenever he wants, because, wow, First Amendment.
Back pay and damages?
Oh, wouldn't you like to see something like that? Yeah, like that the kid that Biden and everybody called a thug, and now he's lawyered up and is suing everybody, right?
And he's won. How many of those already?
I don't think he's lost.
He settled 2 or 3 big ones.
A rich kid. But it's annoying here because Rolling Stone magazine says the Supreme Court is granting a victory to the reintroduction of prayer in public schools. And I just don't read it like that. I don't think that's what they said, and I don't think that's what the case was revolving around. And it's annoying because I worry that, just another example of the media not doing its job. Yeah, well, somebody got to call them out on that.
And you take a look at the recent decision regarding Roe versus Wade. And
my God.
And take a look at the reaction of that and how the media is playing that one.
Misinformation, disinformation, hysteria, and doing nothing but trying to roil up the base. It's 7:22 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show, and we'll take a look at what happened on the market. The lady on Fox News breathlessly said the markets were down. I've seen them down lower than this, so I'm not going to be breathless about it. Frankly, I get the paperwork from the company that has all of my retirement money, and I haven't opened an envelope from them in, oh, golly, it's a couple of months now. I don't want to see how bad things are looking there. Dow Jones Industrial Average off by 491 points, almost 500. I'm rounding up. 30,946 is where they closed. The NASDAQ at 11,181. They closed 343 points in the red. S&P 500, not the worst loser of the day. They only lost 78 points, but it's a small market, right? 3,821 is where they leave off at. Everybody else looking pretty good. The FTSE is up. Nikkei at 178 points in the green. 27,049. Hang Seng Index at 22,418. They're up by almost 200 points. Shanghai is up. The VIX is up, and the DAX is up as well. Let me see here. Let's take a look at what's happening on the NASDAQ, see if there's any cool tech stocks that are doing something. Qualcomm, big winner here this morning, almost 4% better than they were yesterday. XL Energy, CGen, American Electric, and Exelon Corp round out the top 5 there. On the commodities, gold, $1,821, down by another $3.40. We're looking at oil at $111.84. That's up by better than $2.25 worth of an increase in West Texas crude just in the last 24 hours. And you might be wondering, Ray, do you have a new number for Tappas crude? It's Wednesday. We get new numbers on Wednesday.
It was 119 last time we talked.
I believe that was the number last time. It's $119.10. Today it's $121.69. Is that a dead cat bounce? Would we refer to that as a dead cat bounce here on the financial portion of the program? Well, it's up, and that's the suck. Bitcoin,
it's still down $11 from last week.
Yeah. So that's not enough to drop the prices. It's enough to keep them where they are.
Excuse me. So if it had gone from 121
my
to
new nickname is Big Oil.
That's right, yeah.
You used to work for Big Ed. Hi, I'm Big Oil. I think it's going to have to go down a lot more drastically.
He's gone to the other side.
Well,
Can we check his bank accounts just to see who's
I have 2 lawyers, both named Stanley.
Yeah.
How's that? Hey, your takeaway? Did you watch any of that yesterday? Did you watch any of Mike Nicholas yesterday?
No.
No.
I did not.
All right, that should be your assignment later.
You're missing out, man.
But I understand that he's still in the race.
He's still in the race, Sabrina, and Sabrina is still with him. Yeah. We'll get that video up on the screen before too much longer. 7:25, must be time for Jerry Roberts and this morning's Extra Point. Wait, what did we? You didn't give me a Bitcoin number. We got to finish this.
20,278.
20,000.
Down a couple hundred.
Okay, so straight at 20. All right, gotcha. Jerry Roberts now with this morning's Extra Point, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. Jerry?
You hear the terminology in business and politics that it's a good thing to be a consensus builder. That getting together with others can help you come up with the kind of ideas that the majority of people can agree with. But is there a possible downside to building a consensus? We'll check on that next on the Extra Point.
Fly to new experiences with 3 times United miles with First Hawaiian Bank's United credit card. Earn 3 times per dollar spent on United tickets purchased through United ticketing channels until February 28th, 2023, and 2 times miles thereafter. Visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com/United for more information. Don't wait. Apply today. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Building a consensus of opinion is a tool that's used by many people in the hopes of arriving at a decision, hopefully sooner rather than later. In politics, an elected representative who has a project or concept he or she is looking to be supported by colleagues will do everything possible to convince them that they should vote for it. You see the same thing in business. A leader has an idea for large-scale expansion, and like the politician, reveals it to others to gain their backing before it goes up for consideration. The idea here is to show strength in numbers, which might turn aside differing opinions. Often when opposition sees that the support is in place, they might just back away. Some leaders in both the public and private sectors have long been effective consensus builders. It's worked for them and the groups they represent. Could there be another view of this, one that reveals a potential downside? I read a piece on this issue a few years back. I believe it was in the Wall Street Journal, and it brought up questions. Do some leaders look first to build consensus because it's the right thing to do and because they are so good at it, or because they lack the confidence to make the right decision on their own? They risk or they fear risking failure. Are they building consensus or are they hiding behind it? Does always seeking consensus have any kind of a negative effect on their problem-solving and decision-making skills? If pushed into a corner by a situation that did not permit time to go after group approval, how would they do? Maybe you've known leaders who default to consensus building, as well as others who don't give a single thought to asking anybody else what they think. I've known people in both extremes, plus some folks who dabble in a bit of both. I've also known a few who just froze when it became their call. They didn't take any action at all. I believe consensus can be a useful tool, but I also believe it's important to think an issue through until you're sure you know where you stand before you seek additional opinions. Now, why is that? Because I trust my instincts, and I will ask myself serious questions to probe my own feelings. Now, that said, I'm always open to hearing a persuasive argument that could change my mind. When you choose to close yourself off to the ideas and opinions of others, you had better be right. If you haven't got a solid stance on the issue at hand, and then you try to gain a consensus, all you're going to do at the end is simply go along with the majority. And that's not leading. It's facilitating. I'm not claiming either one to be better than the other, but I do believe you have to decide which one you're going to be. So, how do you feel about this? Do you agree that a person whose main tool is consensus building also runs the risk of losing or compromising their ability to make quick and effective decisions when that becomes necessary? Would you say that your personal style is to seek consensus, or do you prefer to make decisions on your own? That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today for 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show, and First Hawaiian Bank. I'm Jerry Roberts.
7:30 in the morning. I'm about done with my census of politicians working in the new gig. So a couple of guys running for Attorney General's office. Incumbent Levin Camacho versus Doug Moylan. Looks like that's settled. Doesn't look like Peter Santos was able to put his paperwork in. Though he said on Bob Klitsky's program last week that he'd get around to it. Doesn't look like he was able to make the cut and do all of that. There are folks in the media. There are media names that you will recognize when you see them on the ballot, including Sabrina Salas-Matanani, who is running for lieutenant governor with Mike Sinicolas. We've got, let me see, a guy named Chris Barnett. Maybe you've heard of him.
We mentioned that yesterday.
Yes, you did. And he was able to get his paperwork in as well, and running as a Democrat, former news reporter for the Pacific News Center, and right here on 93.3 The Point, Montesilva Tyrant is running, and Biba, and even Dave Duenas. I give Dave Duenas a little bit of credit for being a media guy. He used to do radio, and want to say that he was the guy that when nobody else would do it, he would go help out KGTF and do the announcing over at the parades. I think he's done some of that as well. But looking at the number of new guys, people that have never put their ring or not put their ring in as for a member of the legislature, new names, and there's about 24 of them. And I'm going to read all of them for you right now because we got to get into news.
24 of the 37 are new?
Yeah.
There's 16 Republicans and there's 21 Democrats.
But if that's the way the numbers worked out, somebody had written that out. But there are 24 new names on the list here. And the point being, I get nothing but complaints from people that say, we got to do it different. And Tom Fisher's got a whole ad that says the same thing. You're going to have to vote different if you want different in here. So of the 24, how many of them do you suppose can take those 5 empty spots over at the legislature or unseat incumbents in the legislature?
Is it 5 or is it now 6?
There are 10 incumbents that are running, and when Therese put her name in, that made it 10 yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are going to be 5 people that aren't running for senator. Jimmy Moylan, Talena Nelson.
So Mary Torres became the 5th.
She's out.
She was the 5th out.
Yeah,
okay.
She was the 5th out yesterday. So a number of people, we'll go over the names a little bit later on. We got to get into news and headlines.
So of the 10, how many do you think deserve to come back?
That's, at least half of them. How's that? Well, hey, at least half of them.
You think half deserve to come back?
Yeah, and then if you're listening, I'm talking about you. I think you deserve to come back in. At least... At least 5 of them should come in, and if I've got the ear of one of them on, there's certainly a couple in there that I don't think have any business in the world of politics and policy. Well, here's the deal: go when they kick you out of the legislature this election, go and find a real job somewhere. No place having to do with the public sector. Go and work someplace. Try to be a manager at a real business and sweat out payroll and sweat out insurance and sweat out rules and regulations and compliance issues and power bills and rent and all of that stuff. And after you've done that successfully for a couple of years, then come back and be in the legislature, sit at the same side of the table as most of the rest of the people in this town.
So if you think that only 5 of the remaining 10 deserve to come back, now, how many do you think will come back of the 10? How many do you think are going to get reelected?
Probably 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of people that will be unseated by the populations. Joe, write all this stuff down.
Writing it down.
Yeah. Because otherwise, I'll say something different the day after the election, and everybody will go, see, I told you about that guy. I think there might be 7 or 8 of them that come back. Might be a couple that get the nod from the public that they don't want you in government anymore, and maybe hopefully some of these new names and some of the Bellick buy-ins might find their way back to office after having been out and done something real in the real world. Just my thoughts. Jerry Roberts and the Extra Point brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. Time for news brought to you by Rudy Rodolfo and the guys over at Burger King. Came in yesterday with Tuffy from the Great American Super American Circus, and right now did you know, Jerry Roberts, this is not like a weekend thing? It's not like 2 weeks of surf. These guys are going to be here for 3 years.
That's crazy. I got excited when I heard that yesterday.
They signed a contract with PIC. This is going to be the new show at PIC.
Whoa.
They're going to under the big tent over there by the tennis courts.
Nice.
I know it. So it's another attraction for the hospitality industry. I think that's groovy. And they're going to be doing their premiere show on Friday night. You want to get in? They're free tickets for your kids. Some restrictions apply. Go find out over at Burger King. Also being brought to you by Lolita Kamet, who is going to be selling and renting the apartments to some of the people in the new circus. An opportunity to run away with the circus. Go and give her a call. She's over at Hoffa Realty. It's time right now for news with Donna De Jesus. Hoffa, Donna, what happened?
A man was arrested for attacking a 10-year-old girl known to him. A witness told police that the child was sitting on the curb near her home when 31-year-old Rott Bison grabbed and squeezed her wrist and told her to sit by him. She was able to run away when Bison let her go as she was about to sit down. Officers found Bison a few days later, and he admitted to grabbing the child. He was charged with assault and unlawful restraint as misdemeanors. Meanwhile, Senator Jose Pito Terlahi has introduced a bill that would legalize the limited sale of locally caught octopus. Harvesting octopus for personal consumption is allowed under Guam's existing law, but selling it is a crime with a penalty of $250. Bill 322-36 would impose a daily limit of 100. Each person would be limited to 5 pieces a day. And more job openings are available for those seeking employment. The Guam Plaza Resort and Spa is hosting a job fair today from 10 to 4, seeking applicants to fill positions that include cooks, restaurant supervisors, security officers, and electricians. All applicants will be entered into a raffle for the chance to win gift cards from Shell, JP Superstore, Roots Hills Grill House, and Nana's Cafe. The event will be held at Guam Plaza's Blue Coral on the ground floor. And those are your local headlines on The Point.
Thanks, Donna De Jesus. 7:36 earlier in the morning, we were talking about the significant anniversary. Today is 15 years since the first iPhone went on sale. 15 years. Did you have one of the initial iPhones? I remember having one and remember being frustrated because it didn't have any apps on it. It made and received telephone calls. You could say it hooked up to the internet, so you could get your mail and things like that. But it wasn't for a couple of years until you could make your own apps and download from the App Store, and that turned the world upside down. I still have apps when I go and we'll program a new phone. I've got these apps that are in the library and stuff like, you remember what was the cooking, Mama's Cooking or something like that? All these cooking
Mama?
Cooking Mama.
They didn't have that on iPhone.
They had it on the iPad. Well, I think everything worked one way or the other, but there are still these apps that I can download that will go back to the original days of the iPhone. You know what else is celebrating an anniversary today? The Atari. The Atari is 50 years old.
That's mine.
I've got a picture of it up on the screen. Just looking at this, it'll bring back memories.
Yeah.
I was looking at an Instagram video of somebody that's in the States, obviously, that has a working Atari and virtually every Atari game that there ever was. You remember you pull it out of the little cartridge holder, and we all had cartridge holders. Yeah. You blow on it and stick it in. Yeah, you got to blow on it.
Thanks, Mom.
Doesn't work unless you blow on the thing.
It works every time.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this thing, a little eject button and stuff like that, and the little adapter. You remember the little cable adapter? You plug the cable into the back of it, and then you put the 75 ohm little hooky things on the back of the TV.
That one's got the fancy controller, though.
It's got the fancy controller on it. Yeah. Well, you had to have two because it couldn't be playing against somebody.
Well, remember that game Asteroids?
Yes, very well.
You play it by yourself.
Yeah, I know it. Well, that one, but I mean, but eventually, you got these other games where you're playing against somebody else, so you cannot play Pong. And the different controllers, they had the little round one, the little volume knob on it, so you could get away with Pong. Happy 50th anniversary to the Atari. There are people in my age group that are thinking about that, and tears welling up in their eyes now. 7:38 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. I'll be right back.
I want my children to be healthy and safe for the new school year. That's why I made an appointment at the FHP Health Center for their annual checkups, vaccines, physicals, and dental exams. FHP pediatricians and dentists deliver the highest quality of care. I trust them. So can you. Receive a free gift with your child's checkup. For an appointment, call 671-646-5825, press 1. Most private insurance plans accepted. FHP Health Center. Our island, your clinic.
Are you looking for job opportunities? That's perfect. Taiho is a company based in Korea that provides opportunities for people to work at production sites in the United States. They offer a wide variety of jobs that may suit you. Come and check it out. For more information, visit www.gotomainland.com or go to their office at the old iConnect building or call 671-648-9788. What are you waiting for? Go grab that opportunity and fly out to the mainland.
Oh, my God. I just found a new way to waste time. This might be it, ladies and gentlemen. You might not see me on the social medias for a couple of days. There is an emulator online. You can go free80sarcade.com. Atari 2600 video games, free online game player in your browser, blah, 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 blah. Mobile phone friendly, iPhone compatible. Most games include the game manual and instructions to help you play. What were was it you were asking about here?
Asteroids.
Asteroids. Let's see under A for asteroids. Hold on a second. We're going to have to just close the program. Do we have A, D, Aladdin? Ooh, Aladdin. The original Aladdin?
Under asteroids.
Oh, there it is. Okay, asteroids. Oh, my God. Original art. Okay, what am I supposed to do here?
Oh my God.
Check audio, Real Joe.
There it is.
Do we have audio?
Get outside. Someone's going to offset it right beside
Wait
the
a second, hold on.
conduit.
Somebody. Wait, I got somebody else that's doing some talking. I'm not sure which thing it's coming from. Okay, close that one.
Contractor,
Go back over to this. Okay, how about now? Do we have audio here?
I turned it up.
And there's nothing?
I don't hear anything.
Oh my God. There's I'm sure I'm supposed to press the thing.
Nice.
I know. What is that? 8-bit? is that all we're getting? It kept you
thought it was
occupied
awesome.
for hours. Do you remember all of this? There's looking to see where's the audio thing. I still don't find an audio thing. Okay, what am I supposed to do? There's
some traffic.
But I got the asteroids on the screen.
Oh, that's right, man. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Was there an Atari game for driving?
Is there? I don't know.
Yeah, there was a race car thing, I believe.
Frogger.
Oh, man.
We can do Frogger,
great.
right? Frogger, because I'm going to use this as the background for the traffic report here this morning. Frogger, there it is, the game emulator. It's.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! There it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is broadcast gold here we're talking this morning. Free80sarcade.com on the World Wide Web. And it's got all the things. You can actually play this thing in your browser. No work will get done today. No work will get done. All of the trolls from yesterday, Chris and Bobby and Logan, they're all going to be playing this game instead of doing legitimate government work here today. How about that? 7:42 in the morning. All right, fine. We'll dissolve into the traffic and see what's going on. Southbound Marine Corps Drive, getting your way into Big Navy and Sumai. Looks like it's running busy. Headed northbound, not going to see too much traffic until you get down to the downtown Agutnia area. But that is generally affecting folks coming in on Route 8 and the road that brings you by the ruins of the Agutnia swimming pool. Tomorrow in Upper Tumon traffic running a little bit busy this morning. Most of the major intersections look like they're already occupied. There's already cars there. Traffic getting onto Macheche on the Marine Corps Drive up in Dededo, going to be meeting up with traffic from a Pow and spilling off of Route 27. That's Wasang Song. Intersection of 1 and 3 as usual running busy. 16 busy at all the intersections, including 8, 10, and 16. Central traffic beginning to build up over in that location. 10 and 15 also running a little bit busy. If I had to pick a road to get into town with, I think it would be Route 4, all the way from the beautiful village of Jutnia into the downtown Agutnia area. 7:43. That's your traffic here on The Point.
Gas is expensive, so let the bank come to you. Through our remote deposit capture, you can deposit your checks into your account from your phone. And with our Dynamite Bank Pacific Visa debit card, you can use your money anytime, anywhere. It's the perfect combo.
Now we're banking on the future. Services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Crank it up.
Check out the newest hydro and garden center to hit Guam, Crop King Hydro. We have a huge selection of plant nutrients, soils, hydroponic mediums, organic pest control pumps, plant support, tools, and so much more. Call 635-4769. 635-GROW. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 at the Dededo Satina Mall, right across from Payless and Paradise Fitness. For whatever you grow, think Crop King Hydro. Crop King Hydro.
But I know I'm supposed to do something, but now I'm looking for Space Invaders. Wait a second. It's like all my favorite games. It's not just the Atari. I mean, you get the Sega and Nintendos and all of the other stuff. Dude, they got Sinbad on this thing. Wait,
what's the name of the site?
Free80sarcade.com.
Did you ever play Defender?
I can't remember.
I'm looking for Alex Kidd that was on Sega.
Uh-huh.
They had like a junk and pull game.
Space Invaders here. Hold on a second. This is all right. What was I supposed? Who's the I got to do an for? Do you remember?
Oh, Wendy's, yeah.
Okay,
summertime.
Yeah. The summertime strawberry salad. I'm not going to blow it off. Okay, I'm not going to blow off the climb. It is a super summertime salad. Officially, the taste of summer over at Wendy's, where you can get the incredible chicken salad, applewood smoked bacon in there, herb marinated, grilled chicken breast. There's candied almonds in a 3-cheese blend, plus sweet and tangy champagne vinaigrette served on a bed of freshly chopped lettuce. It's at Wendy's. We got you. Oh my God, she's giggling. She's getting all girly on us there, Real Joe. What
Sega! They have Alex Kidd in America. Oh my gosh, I loved this game. Okay, bye.
There's no work is going to get done here today in the program. Welcome to it. It's a Discovery. Happy 50th anniversary to the Atari game, and I don't know anybody that didn't have one of those things in the house. I remember getting one, and I think we were 16, 17 or something like that. Me and my friends, and convinced my mom that we needed to get this to save us arcade money, because back in those days you'd go places and there would be some place where you could put a quarter into. Now quarters, in my mind, it's still real money. So we put a quarter in this thing, and I said, "Yeah, we buy this," and I can't remember what they costed back in those days for a new Atari box. But you'd get out there, the games. I mean, Space Invaders. There's not one of us in my age group that remembers that doesn't remember getting kicked out of the top of the Reef or the Reef Hotel, and then having to go downstairs where they had the Space Invaders, the real games, the Galaga and Space Invaders, waiting for your friends to come down, right? It's like somebody with the fake ID. They were able to get inside. The rest of us were lunks and losers and had to hang out downstairs. 746 on the Ray Gibson Show. Free80sarcade.com and the World Wide Web. For those of you that don't want to play with your browser, there are actual emulators that you can buy, programs that you can run on your computer that will emulate these video games from the past. So all you got to do is download them and run them in these emulators, and you ought to be good to go. 7:47 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. Is there anything groovy going on in the world? Probably not. You know, we got the hangover, if you will, from Mike Nicholas and his lawyers, and a statement made by Sabrina that I still have some time to run before it gets to be the top of the hour. In the meantime, Phil wanted to jump in with some comments. Buenas, Phil.
Hey, good morning, Ray. How are you doing, sir?
I'm sitting in a warm bath of electronic nostalgia right now, thinking about the Ataris and the Segas and my Apple IIc, and you're playing games on a green screen. Do you remember those times?
Oh, man, I tell you what, I bought my kids way back when I was at Misawa Air Base, Japan, Apple IIe.
Nothing wrong with that computer. You get all the parts for it, and the modem on the side. Groovy time. And the kids will never understand that. They've grown up in a world of smartphones, but don't remember the joy of, hey, they got something new over at what's the name of the electronics place where Mariana's Electronics, right? I used to hang out with I used to hang out with the guys down there, and every time there was something new for your Apple, you just had to go down there and buy it. You remember the thrill of buying your first color screen for your computers?
Absolutely.
Oh, my
Absolutely,
God.
Man.
Color printers. You remember when they first came out with color printers? Oh, my God, it was a revolution.
Hey, Ray.
Hey.
But anyways, man, I'm calling really to urge the legislature, to introduce legislation to make public transportation free, Ray. In this time of hardship, man, I tell you, many of our unfortunate, our most vulnerable people of Guam are suffering, and I think it'll behoove the legislature to introduce legislation to make riding on transit buses free.
Phil, let's do it. I don't have a problem with it. I think maybe and then fund the hell out of it. But in the meantime, because you know how quickly the legislature moves when it's somebody's idea besides their own. Right now, the governor by executive order, can put together the paperwork that will take all of the buses that are not being used right now to drop off kids at school and pick them up from school, we can use those buses right now to and use that to augment our public transportation system. And we've got a ton of those. We've got a ton of drivers out there. Government seems to be able to afford diesel these days, and a great opportunity to kind of maintain them on the go.
Ray, that's a fabulous idea, man. I tell you, they're doing it back in the States with public transportation, so why not do it in Guam to allow our disabled veterans, our homeless, or, those paratransit riders who are barely making it in life, man, to get free transportation.
Gasoline, oil now, the kind of oil that we use to make gasoline, $121, almost $122 for a barrel of that, and I don't know that we're going to see anytime soon a return to the much lower, relatively speaking, prices that we enjoyed before Biden became the president of the United States. I agree. I think we've got some problems with mass transit here on Guam. I don't know that since Sel Bautista, since he left, Sel Babauta, when Sel left, I thought there goes all of the vision for this department.
Ray, I'll tell you what, my friend. When you have time, when you have time on your show that you can allow me to elaborate more on that, I'll be more than happy. Because, man, many of the accomplishments that we've done, like for example, the park and ride that they do, the electric buses, the mobility on demand. We competed, Ray. We work hard to compete, man, for federal grants, and we got federal grants. But man, I'll tell you what, they are in jeopardy. And the other thing, I ordered 6 buses, man, back in 2021.
Mano.
Guess what they did? Guess what they did, Ray? They canceled the bus order, man. And the 10 buses that I ordered back in 2019, they're still not here. Imagine if those buses, Ray, are here, man. I tell you. It'd be very helpful for the people of Guam, man. I tell you, I'm doing this for Ray. I was making $88,000 a year at GRTA, over $100,000 plus benefits. I walked away from there, Ray, because I wasn't getting the support that I needed to make things much better. So,
it's odd. I'm just realizing now your name is not Phil. This is Sel on the phone, former director of the Department of the Guam Mass Transit System, GMTA, on Guam. And like I said, I enjoyed our conversations because it seemed to me that finally mass transit had somebody with some kind of a vision of how to improve the operation on a moving forward basis. Now, if you tried to order 10 buses right now, can you imagine how much longer you'd have to wait? Because everything is backed up because of the COVID-19 and raw materials and assembly and transportation just to get them out here is going to cost a whole lot more than they would have in 2019. I don't disagree. I'm disappointed that people just seem to be standing idly by watching the price of gasoline go up to a point where even people that are, quote, comfortable in this town are questioning all of the extra mileage they're putting on the road and trying to make every mile count. If I don't have to run with the air conditioning on, if it's not one of those bloody Guam hot days, I run without the air conditioning just to increase the mileage.
That's right, Ray. I tell you what, man. Ray, public transportation, man, is excellent public policy. It's beyond my comprehension that our political leadership are not focused on making it more available.
And like I said, Sel, right in front of you right now, how many buses at the Department of Public Works across the street? How many of them aren't running right now that could be used? Just take a spot anywhere in one of your maps and go for a ride. We got guys, never mind polishing the bus all day and vacuuming and maintenance and whatever. Get out there and drive your bus and move people. We got a bunch of different places where we could have some great hub locations, Ganya Shopping Center, Micronesia Mall, GPO, whatever, and just have it go bicycle around. I mean, if you can get yourself to a Ganya Shopping Center, you should be able to get on some kind of a bus that will take you up to Anderson Air Force Base if you want to, or down to Inarahan Pools.
Ray, you're absolutely right, man. Until those buses arrived that I ordered when I was the executive manager, let's use those buses for at least for the fixed route, with the DPW buses. and use the ADA compliant buses for paratransit. You know, people with disabilities.
The problem is, like I said, there's a bunch of people that are comfortable at the legislature, a bunch of people that are comfortable over at Adelup. They're okay. They got a ride. They got one of those. They got their big pickup trucks here, the city-sized pickup trucks and the city-sized SUVs. They're okay. They got their ride. A lot of other people are having a hard time, but that's okay. Bota. I'm going to run. I'll talk to you pretty soon, my friend.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for the opportunity.
Not a problem, and I'll take you up on the offer. Love to have somebody come in and spend some time talking about that. 7:55 in the morning. I'm going to go back to video here, and you're going to go, oh, more video games? Nah, sorry, can't do the more video games things right now. There's a video that I wanted to play for you yesterday, and I think it is newsworthy considering the nature of some of the rumors that were floating around since Saturday morning, and even yesterday at 11 o'clock. When Mike St. Nicholas signed on with his lawyers, people were asking, where's Sabrina? And Dr. Tom Shea shared this video with me, and so I'm going to share it with you. It's a video of Sabrina Salas Matanani.
Good day, everybody. I just wanted to come on here because I know a lot of you are wondering how I feel about the news that broke over the weekend. But first, I just want to thank all of you that checked on me to make sure that I'm doing okay. I truly appreciate it. I just recently returned from an off-island trip. From the moment that I decided to run with Congressman Michael St. Nicholas, I knew that it was not going to be easy. I knew that it was going to be controversial. I lost longtime friends that I thought of as family, all because Mike doesn't fit their political agenda. Public officials and media colleagues that I once respected came after me, criticizing and claiming I have no experience, some even claiming that I'm doing this as part of some vanity project. All of it hurts deeply. But I also made many new friends that welcomed me into their homes, greeted me on the streets, grocery stores, gas stations, and yes, even while giving out cotton candy. Like myself, they want change. They want to end the dirty politics of the past, where the more mud you sling, the more personal attacks and character assassinations, the better. This has to stop, and it will. The day that I picked up a packet with Mike, the media asked me about my thoughts about the ethics investigation. And I responded that I would cross that bridge when I get there. Clearly, we are here. I'm sure many of you may have heard the rumors that I plan on walking away from the campaign, or even yet that I plan on taking some sort of a deal to work with the opposition. Of course, I was concerned about the ethics report, but my feelings have not changed about why I decided to run. What has changed is that I'm so glad that after 3 long years, this investigation is over and is concluded with no charges against the congressman. When you read the report, it is the same allegations we've all been talking about over the past several years, and I would know because I did my job and I reported on them. Although this has been referred to the U.S. Department of Justice, it does not mean he is guilty of anything. But over the next few weeks, our opponents will capitalize on this report. They will continue their campaign of cyberbullying and vindictiveness. They will attack my credibility and my integrity. They will do what they do best: attack, shame, vilify, buy votes, and pork adobo our government's finances. I am not a quitter. I signed up to fight for the people of Guam. I signed up to lead with Congressman Michael St. Nicholas, and I will not give up. To our supporters, do not be distracted. Let them come after us. Let them say whatever they want. We are willing to take the punches because, as I said before, the risk is worth it. You are worth it. Please, if you have not done so, register to vote and vote. Take a stand against the negative politics. Stop the fear and retaliation, retribution, all of it. Say no more to 4. Thank you.
Poof! Poof! There you go. And so for those of you that were wondering What about Sabrina? I suppose maybe that will answer the majority of the questions, and that's available on the Facebook and all of that stuff. A couple of interesting points that she brings up in there: cyberbullying and things like that. I don't care where you are politically. I don't care where you stand. I don't like bullies, and I will do everything that I can in the media to point them out. Logan and Chris and Bobby and say that's all you got there, guys. Okay, good. And there's my response on that. 7:59 and change, closing in on 8 o'clock in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show, and the pork adobo our finances. Love that. If you don't understand if you don't understand the reference, go and find Les and see what he's got to say about that. Hey, look, we got Fox News Live coming up in 25 seconds or something like that. Donna De Jesus is going to be doing a look at big news and headlines, and then return to playing her asteroid game in between there and the next round of headlines. If you've got any questions about what's going to be happening at the big job fair that's going to be taking place over at the Riga, Sheraton, whatever, we'll get answers for you. The Department of Labor, Chanel, is coming into the studio. Be interesting to get her thoughts on some of the media people that are running in the political game these days. Stand by now. It's Fox News on The Point.
She was concerned. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. At the House January 6th committee hearing, a top former White House aide told lawmakers how President Trump reacted to the riot.
Days before January 6th last year, Cassidy Hutchinson says she began feeling nervous about what could happen, recalling a conversation with her then boss, White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows.
Said something to the effect of, there's a lot going on, Cass, but I don't know. Things might get real bad on January 6th.
Hutchinson says she overheard former President Trump complain about metal detectors at his rally that morning and recalled being told the former president became irate, lunging at the steering wheel of a vehicle after Secret Service said it was too dangerous to go to the Capitol. In social media posts, Trump says that story is fake. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
An update on the suspected case of human smuggling in San Antonio, Texas.
Very sad to report that the medical examiner's office has 51 bodies.
XR County Commissioner Rebecca Clay Flores. The bodies of migrants were recovered inside the trailer on an 18-wheeler last night. More than a dozen others were taken to a hospital. Homeland Security is investigating. Officials say the migrants were from Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras. Former girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, has been sentenced to 20 years in prison and 5 years supervision after being convicted in December on charges including sex trafficking and transporting a minor to participate in sex acts. He has denied the allegations. Seven-time champion Serena Williams out of Wimbledon at the first round, beaten by Harmony Tan in 3 sets. Tan is ranked 115th in the world. Wall Street stocks slide as inflation worries persist. The Dow minus 491, nearly 2%. The Nasdaq off 343 or 3%. The S&P lost 78 or 2%. America's listening to Fox News.
$15 might not get you that far, but Chili's is bucking the trend with $15 meal deals. At Chili's, $15 gives you not one, not two, but 3-course meal deals complete with a drink, a starter, and an entree. Mix and match 3-course meals 15 ways to Sunday with soup, salad, or chips and salsa to start, and ranchero chicken tacos, honey chipotle crispers with rice, bacon ranch quesadillas, or personal fajitas for the main course. Build your own $15 meal deal at Chili's. More life and great value happen here.
I want my children to be healthy and safe for the new school year. That's why I made an appointment at the FHB Health Center for their annual checkups, vaccines, physicals, and dental exams. FHP pediatricians and dentists deliver the highest quality of care. I trust them. So can you. Receive a free gift with your child's checkup. For an appointment, call 671-646-5825, press 1. Most private insurance plans accepted. FHB Health Center. Our island, your clinic.
A former Nebraska congressman avoids prison time in a corruption case.
Former U.S. Rep. Jeff Fortenberry is sentenced to 2 years of probation, a $25,000 fine, and community service after a federal California jury found the Nebraska Republican guilty in March of falsifying and concealing material facts and 2 counts of lying over a campaign donation from a foreign national in 2016. That, according to evidence presented at his trial, was arranged through other people at a fundraiser in L.A. Fortenberry has maintained his innocence, and he plans to appeal. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has appointed Mark Vargo, the lead prosecutor in the Senate impeachment trial of former Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg, to fill the remainder of Ravnsborg's term. Noem had pushed for Ravnsborg to step down after he struck and killed a pedestrian with his car in 2020. Ravnsborg was impeached and removed from office last week. An accounting giant is slapped with a record fine for employees cheating.
Some of the people meant to make sure there's no cheating get caught cheating. One of the world's largest auditing firms, Ernst & Young, has been hit with a $100 million fine, the largest ever of its kind, because hundreds of its auditors at the accounting giant cheated on ethics tests they were required to take to get or maintain their professional licenses, and the company withheld evidence of this misconduct from federal authorities investigating the matter, according to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Ernst & Young admitted to the SEC's charges and says it's complying with the agency's penalty. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Police in the Netherlands say 2 people have been arrested after a jewel theft at an international art fair. Police say the robbers appeared to be carrying weapons and had a sledgehammer when they made off with the jewelry. Police say the 2 suspects in custody are from Belgium, and they are looking for at least 2 more. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Hafaday Guam, this is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. Our administration is hosting the Governor's Island-wide Job Fair. More businesses are hiring and we are leading the growth of our workforce. This is the largest job fair our island has seen in the last 15 years. There are a variety of fulfilling industry opportunities available to you in food and beverage, hospitality, truck driving, construction, HR, telecom, finance, ship repair, and many more. Whether you're just starting your career, switching careers, or have years of experience, there's always room for growth. The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is investing in Guam's future, and this starts with you. Join us on Friday, July 1st at the Riga Royal Laguna Resort from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
This ad is supported by Employment and Training Program funds from the U.S. Department of Labor as part of an award totaling $4.4 million with 0% financed by non-governmental resources.
Choice Broadcasting introduces their unbeatable lineup of morning show.
Hands down winners of Guam's morning radio battle.
Daryl Lizama grooves his way through Boss 104 playing Guam's favorite classic hits.
Morning mouth Ray Gibson shakes the cage on 93.3 The Point.
And now, we are proud to announce the Morning Blender with Kyle Mandapat, mixing it up at sunrise on Star 101.
If you're an advertiser trying to reach the most valuable ears, we've got the shows that listeners have been tuning into for decades.
One call gets all 3.
671-888-7346. That's 888-REIO.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, it's easy, and it's secure. Visit nambo.com for more information.
Half a day, it's 8:06. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. A man was arrested for attacking a 10-year-old girl known to him. A witness told police that the child was sitting on the curb near her home when 31-year-old Rott Bison placed his arm over her and held her left arm. Court documents state that when the girl got up to walk away, Bison grabbed and squeezed her wrist. He refused to let her go when she told him to and told her to sit by him. Bison let the child go as she was about to sit down, and that's when she ran away. Officers found Bison a few days later, and he admitted to grabbing the child. He was charged with assault and unlawful restraint as misdemeanors. And Governor Leon Guerrero's proposal to grant every ratepayer a $100 monthly credit to offset the cost of power for 5 months was met with concerns about how government officials will fund the program. Resident Vincent Estella says that it might mean tax increases or cutting costs elsewhere because nothing is free. For now, it appears that funding will come out of the general fund, which has been seeing collections in excess of adopted revenues year after year. The governor said in her State of the Island address last week that there are local funds available after GovGuam eliminated its general fund deficit and spent less than it collected in each of the last 3 years. The governor's communications director, Crystal Paco San Agustin, says the $100 power credit program is intended for everyone, will use the general fund, and is not subject to ARP income limitations. More local news after this.
Go green, go hybrid. Go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
Senator Jose Pito Terlahi has introduced a bill that would legalize the limited sale of locally caught octopus. Harvesting octopus for personal consumption is allowed under Guam's existing law, but selling it is a crime with a penalty of $250. Bill 322 would amend the fishing law to allow local market transactions for octopus caught in Guam waters, but exporting would not be allowed under the proposed bill. The bill would also impose a daily limit of 100. Each person would be limited to 5 pieces a day. The bill would also increase the charge for using explosives or poisons while fishing from a misdemeanor to a felony because of the devastation it can cause to an entire ecosystem. Meanwhile, outgoing GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez has submitted the school facility master plan for approval from the Guam Education Board. The plan gives the Education Department the opportunity to leverage federal ARP funds to support facility improvement priorities across the school system, such as roofing and canopy repairs, restroom renovations, HVAC improvements, and other initiatives. Fernandez says the planning process took into consideration future enrollment trends for Guam schools, along with facility changes needed to maintain more modern modes of instruction, current capacity levels, and health and safety concerns. The Education Board will have an opportunity to review the plan and offer its approval at an upcoming meeting. And those are your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
Well, or something. I don't know. I'm so easily distracted around here.
Ooh, what's that?
Felbert sent this in. This might be is either dinner last night or breakfast today. It looks like pot sticker ramen in all of that stuff. Yeah. It's one of those things. I have actual good ramen at the house, and I always forget that I have it.
What's good ramen?
I remember I have it when I go someplace and pay for it and go, oh wait a second, I could have made this at the house. What the heck? Or I got just throw a couple eggs in there and maybe some Spam or something like that. So I think that's what I like the most about having that kind of thing around is a uniquely hackable meal. It doesn't have to look like it comes on the package. In fact, I think in many ways it shouldn't. Thanks, Phil, for sending that in. Weather today looks like it's going to be another warm one, partly sunny in the forecast, although there are going to be some isolated showers, not enough to cool off the house, unfortunately. Highs near 87 degrees, east-southeast winds 3 to 6 miles an hour. Expect mostly cloudy skies in the forecast tonight. Back to partly sunny tomorrow, mostly cloudy tomorrow night, partly sunny on Friday, if you want to take this all the way to the end of the week. And on to the 4th of July weekend. Red, white, and boom. That's what I'm saying. Sunset tonight going to be at 6:52. Wait a second. Those of you with the Commission on Decolonization, you have to work on the 4th of July. Sorry, you can't have it both ways, guys. You got to pick a side and stay with it. 8:11 in the morning. There's news and weather together on The Point.
Gas is expensive, so let the bank come to you. Through our remote deposit capture, you can deposit your checks into your account from your phone. And with our Dynamite Bank Pacific Visa debit card, you can use your money anytime, anywhere. It's the perfect combo.
Now we're banking on the future. Services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Crank it up.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Yeah. Donna's asking, what's that drink they make over at CPK for breakfast? There's a mimosa, is what they make. There's a mimosa. I think it's a Italian word for daytime drinking. It legitimizes daytime drinking. Anyway, so yeah, CPK online here and have been open for about an hour. And they're going to be serving breakfast all morning long. And yeah, we can get mimosa. They got a bunch of these juices here, but they also mimosa well, if you understand what I'm saying. And if you got, you're thinking, okay, well, I better chase that down with some chow. What can we get for breakfast over at CPK? Well, what do you like for breakfast? Flapjacks? Okay, they got stuff like that. Taro pancakes, as a matter of fact. They got all kinds of eggs Benedict, all kinds. And some places they only got the one, not over at CPK. And I always talk about that because it's one of my favorite breakfast meals. But if you just wanted like bacon and fried rice with an egg, they got something like that. I say like that because they're using this Newski bacon. and I cannot emphasize this, it's not those little flimsy strips of bacon that you get in other places. This thing is thick. It's substantial. It's almost like it needs another plate underneath it because it's so weighty. Get that with some Spam fried rice, put an egg on top of that, and plenty more. The frittatas and more. I've got the whole menu. I can read from this thing all morning long, but you're probably already close now and probably hungry now. So CPK for breakfast. Thank you very much. 8:14, Ray Gibson Show, also brought to you by the guys over at American President Lines. APL, a global presence with a local home.
Rediscover talk radio here. It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Quarter after 8 o'clock in the morning, Ray Gibson Show until it's not going to be no more. How you doing there? And, there but for the grace of God go us. And I was remarking yesterday about a story that comes out of Hawaii. September 1st, they're going to be shutting down their coal-fired power plant. Now, there might be some environmentalist tree huggers out there that are going, good, because there's no such thing as clean coal power. There's dirty stuff there, and it's not bad for the environment. Think about the turtles and the dolphins and polar bears, all of that stuff. So you might be happy about that, but here's the deal. They were supposed to replace all of that with, renewable energy, the clean energies, like solar and wind. And but the problem is COVID came along, and they don't have all of the parts they need to put together solar and wind power. So they're going to have to. They're shutting down the coal plant anyway. They did not buy any more coal, and so they're going to shut that thing down. And they don't have the renewables ready. So guess how they're going to make electricity in Hawaii soon? Oil. Now, that was kind of the backup plan the whole time. But when they came up with that backup plan, oil was relatively cheap, not twice what it cost yesterday than it does today. So if you are a resident of the state of Hawaii, brace. It's about to get bad. And that's even if they are able to make enough electricity. They've already gone out and started talking to the military and the big hotels and the big stores and big restaurants and said, could you not run, I don't know, anything while between 5 and about 10 o'clock at night so that we can conserve all the electricity. Also, Simon Sanchez on the line. Si, are you hearing about the power crunch in Japan that they are experiencing right now?
Yep, and rolling power outages in Ohio. And there was a great, just before you came on, I was watching one of the business channels, and they were talking about, rolling outages in Ohio because they can't meet load. California is now debating whether to shut down one of its nuclear plants because they don't think they can meet load. And that's the challenge of I've always called it a migration away from oil. It's not a light switch. You can't just do it tomorrow if you want everyone that wants energy to get the amount of energy that they demand. And it's a dilemma across the planet. I was also seeing how, something like, I think we still only have 3% of all the cars in the country are electric, right? Mm-hmm. So we got a long way to go before we get rid of oil for transportation. And we got a long way to go before we get away from oil or fossil fuel gas. Gas powers much of the United States, but gas, oil, there's still going to be, I know you're not as good at math as you would like to be, but between 0 and 100, right? When you get to 10, you still got to do the 90% from something else. And most of the world is saying maybe we can get to 100% by 2045, 2050, and some are even skeptical about that. But while you go to 0 to 100, the other side of the balancing act is when you get to 99% has to come from a non-renewable. When you get to 50%, 50% has to come from a non-renewable, a fossil fuel. And that's where mankind's technology has us. It's the reality. And so as you plan to purchase less oil, not rely on oil like GPA is doing, you still have to keep the lights on while you're implementing the plan. And even with the generator that we're building now, finally up in Ukudu, and getting that finished and ready to go, and even with the 400 megawatts of solar that we're planning, and the ones that we've already built, we're making great solar energy now down in Talafofo in the Dundun area, and we're making it up in Marbo. And there's 2,500 families that are making solar on their roof on a beautiful day like today. But that's still not going to keep all the lights on for everybody.
Right.
And so GPA, we have a duty to keep the lights on for everybody, and that's why we continue to use a mix of renewables and fossil fuels, and that's the reality of the planet. And God bless. We all want a clean environment. We all want clean air, but we also need to feed our families, go to work, pay our bills, run a government, run an economy, and that requires fossil fuels. And so, despite some of the virulent attitudes of some that favor just 100% renewables tomorrow, it's not realistic.
Right.
It's unrealistic. And from a cost and an availability and a reliability point of view, why are they saying we're not going to shut down some of these generators? Because they can't provide 100% reliability to 100% of their customers.
Well, like many things, you got to have a backup plan. Even California, where they've got heat wave and everybody running the air conditioning, and they get a significant amount of power from dams and hydroelectric. And there's a water issue that they've got out there. And there's not enough water to keep going over the dams and make electricity. So you're getting caught by a bunch of things. You got to be very, very careful. As my pop said, don't throw away your old shoes until you get a new pair.
Amen. And don't burn your bridges, because sometimes you have to retreat. And so, I think everyone in the energy business continues to try to find ways to reduce the reliance on fossil fuels, and they're just as committed to environmental justice or keeping the environment as clean as possible. But they also have a duty to keep lights on, to keep gas in vehicles so people can go do the things that they need to do for their livelihood and their families. And it's not going to happen overnight. You keep chipping away at it. You've done a marathon. You just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you keep working it. It is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. And so I'm all with you there. When you talk about it from that perspective.
Well, it's just interesting to see, how bad other places, with the first world reputations are having with electricity these days, and the cost of oil obviously kind of out of sight. But it's unfortunately what we're stuck with. How are we doing here? You get anything from JB in the last couple of days about how close we are to hitting the edge of our reserves?
Oh, we're good now that the Cabris unit is back on, but we're fragile in that once the Cabris unit, if we lose the Cabris units, then we are at risk. But a public-private partnership with Osaka Gas started 27 years ago, was successfully implemented. We now own the generator. We don't pay CapEx for that, but we pay to maintain and operate it. It's more fuel efficient. We have a private partner using their money. And this is an idea that I've always enjoyed implementing with public-private partnership. We have a private partner who built a solar farm at no cost to us, and now we're benefiting from the energy created by that solar farm. It's saving us about $1.5 million a month in fuel costs at today's prices, $18 million a year. And we have the solar farms down south, and we have solar rooftop solar. That's all reducing our reliance on oil, and that's the game plan. But it doesn't happen overnight, and you have to build that generator.
When are you going to buy me a solar system for my house?
Well, we don't buy you one, and you raise a good point.
Oh.
We will pay you though for the energy off your rooftop, and right now we pay the full retail, 37. What is it? So maybe 37 cents a kilowatt hour. But our utility scale solar farms are selling it to us at 10 to 11 cents a kilowatt hour.
No.
So,
I'm serious. Here, ponder this as a concept, Si. Why don't we take my rooftop and put some solar panels up there, and I will feed that into one of these smart grid inverters, and send that back to you. Anything I don't use, you can have it.
Well, but here's the challenge. Right now, under the public policy of the land, right, the solar off your roof, I'm going to pay 37 cents a kilowatt hour. The solar from Marbo up and from the Marbo solar farm, I'm paying 11 cents a kilowatt hour. So our question to some of these 100% advocates is, why should GPA ratepayers who don't have solar pay 37 cents for rooftop solar when we can make our own energy with utility scale solar at 11 cents, 1/3 the price? And that's why you see utilities around the world going first to utility scale. It would take 40,000 houses to match what we plan to do with utility scale solar. And, we can wait for Ray Gibson, Simon Sanchez, and everyone to come up with the money to front the cost to put it on their roof. But that, for 40,000 houses. How long are we going to wait? We can build a utility solar farm in 2 to 3 years and pay 11 cents, one-third the price. So we're going to utility scale solar because it's the fastest way to reduce the amount of oil we burn. It's the cheapest way to do it. And if someone wants to put it on their rooftop, fine, we'll buy it from you and we'll pay right now. We'll pay 3 times what we should, but that's the two things. You can put it on your roof, but for the people, the ratepayers of Guam, to just front 40,000 houses with solar on their roofs, it's cheaper to build a utility scale solar farm. So that's our choice.
Is that 37 cents? Is that the going rate for kilowatt hour on Guam between your rate and the LEAC? Is that the new number?
Yeah, well, I think the LEAC now bumped up to 21, 22. The base rate, which hasn't changed for 9 years, is at 13. So yeah, we're in the mid 30s and it's going up. Right now, the governor has proposed a good solution, in my opinion, of, hey, every residential customer is going to get a $100 credit on their bill.
Yeah.
Ray, what's your power bill? $400, $500 a month?
North of that, I think now. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's say it's $600 a month. At $100 a month for the next 5 months, that's a 16% reduction in your power bill, right? And if you're at $400 a month, like the average residential customer uses about 1,000 kilowatt hours, right? That's $100 on 400 is a 25% reduction for 5 months. If you use $1,000 a month, it's your power bill. It's a 10% reduction. It's a reduction. And so there's money coming from that fund.
When?
The governor gave $50
Any
million.
idea when that's going to happen?
No, and we'll, she asked the legislature to work with us to come up with a number and come up with a legislation. I'm pretty confident that they can figure out how to do it. There's a surplus in the general fund from last year. There's
Much touted, yes.
Another surplus projected from this year. Of course, everyone's trying to grab that surplus, but I think most people would agree, hey, if you're going to grab some of that surplus and give it to the power bill to residential customers, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. And I guess there's some money coming out for gasoline. For those that qualify.
Well, let me. Has anybody done the mathematics on this? Rather than give me $100 credit on my account, how about we just take all of that money for all of the ratepayers, the residential guys, I'm assuming is what we're talking about, and then give that money to JB in a big bucket of money so that he can apply that to whatever the overhang is or the underhang is on the LEAC.
Well, that's exactly what she's doing. She instead of us raising rate to get the under recovery from you, she's saying here's $100 a month to every residential user. And one thing I've noticed, I've tried to share with some of the policymakers is, you got 2 fiscal years because 5 months goes into the end of this fiscal year and the beginning of next fiscal year. So you got 2 buckets of surpluses that definitely occurred last year, appears to be occurring this year, and probably will occur next year because the military buildup is providing huge revenues of income tax because of all the foreign workers that are building that base. Their withholding taxes stay on Guam. And of course, the military presence has grown on Guam. Their taxes stay on Guam, and that's what's fueling the tax revenue boom. And now policymakers are saying, I want to give some of those taxes back to you. Senator Bloss wants to do it as a rebate. Senator Nelson wants to do it as a rebate. The governor wants to do it as Programa Salapi, and here's $100 a month to GPA, and we'll use that as a credit on Ray Gibson's bill. And
I hope they get around to making that decision and figuring out which well they're going to be pulling water from at some point, because I think the people sure could use that money. It's been a week since the State of the Island address, and I think people are going, okay, well, that was a pretty good idea. When is that going to be happening? So your perspective, I hear it, understand it, but folks could have used that money last week when she said it.
Well, they're going to need it in the coming months because it's not going to get any better with oil. And you can argue about whether money should have been released sooner or later, but I'm glad there's $100 a month. There's 20 to 25 million that is available from whatever source of funding for the government to give to GPA ratepayers, and we're going to spend it to pay down the oil bill.
Well, is it 6 of one, half dozen of the other? As I said, I'm happy to get the credit on my account, but does it make the same economic sense as just throwing it at the LEAC debt?
Well, that is where it's going. That's what we're going to use the money for, because that's the only thing that's changed since 2013 is the LEAC, and we all know why. And right now it's crazy because oil is crazy. So that's where it's going to go. That when GPA did not pass on some $30 million in
Right.
fuel costs. That's another way we're trying to stretch our dollars out, use our reserves to mitigate the horrible impact of oil on our power.
I'm still kind of fuzzy on this. So will my GPA bill actually have minus $100 with a picture of Lou and Josh next to it, or is the LEAC going to come down to such a degree that it will equal $100 off of my power bill?
Well, I'm a big fan of full disclosure. So when there's a credit to be given, I don't know about a picture, but we can create a line on your bill.
I'm sure they'll send something out.
Because remember, otherwise I'd have to put 15 pictures and 2 governors on it, because there'll be 17 pictures, and then the 5 commissioners of the CCU, we voted for it. So that's a lot of pictures. How about we just put one line that says minus $100? We've done it. You can see it on your bill. There's a legislative surcharge for the retirement costs of the utility workers. That's on your power bill.
I was just wondering how we were going to slice that thing up.
Oh, that's easy. That's the easy part.
Okay.
Showing the credit is the easy part, and it's a flat number. It doesn't matter whether your power bill is $1,000 or $300 as a residential customer. You're going to see them. I'm going to propose to the CCU that we show it as a negative 100, because people were saying, well, what happened to the governor's $15 million? Well, she did give it to us, but we didn't show it as a direct credit.
Right.
We don't show the fact that the under recovery is $30-40 million that GPA has taken out of its reserves. And remember who GPA is. It's us. We own that company. So we took money out of our company's reserves to help our customers, our ratepayers, pay a lower power bill. But we can't do it forever, especially when oil has gone up so dramatically and isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon.
No, I've got
and
you.
At least we have surpluses that are available now to help ratepayers, and we're going to pass it right back to our ratepayers and avoid creating a huge hole for the owners of the GPA
let's get that legislation written. One thing before I let you, I got Chanel and Dave Del Sola coming in a couple of minutes, actually in studio, and some folks after that. So I'm kind of limited on time. Just give me 60 seconds of your thoughts now that all of the paperwork has been turned in, and we've got a slate of a whole bunch of new names of people running for the legislature. We've got some returnees that would like another shot at the ride here, and a number of incumbents. What do you think of the list? That satisfactory to you?
Well, I'm glad that many people want to try to help, right? I chuckle a little bit about, everyone alludes to legacy challenges, right? And we have some that have been with us a long, long time. And one way to run, they always say, run like an outsider, right? And so people say, well, we want to cure those legacy problems, and we want to get rid of all those old politicians that, by the way, we elected. And I always chuckle about that. Well, we elected them. Now we want to get rid of them. But that's the process we love. There's 38 people that want to serve in the legislature. Let's listen to them. Let's see what they want to do. We get a chance to, the court of public opinion. As you know, you're with Delegate St. Nicholas, and that to me. If you're for the delegate, you're still for the delegate after yesterday. If you're not for the delegate, you're not for the delegate after yesterday. And we don't know I don't know if it's called the big middle, but there's people that maybe haven't made up their mind one way or the other, and that's the court of public opinion, and that's who's going to decide in August, who they believed or who they trust the most, right? Or trust the least, trust the most.
You figure that one out. As I said, your friends don't need an explanation, and your enemies won't believe it. I'm just glad the guy had the coconuts to come out on virtually all of the media, face all of the critics, and face all of the members of the media with, I thought, some interesting questions. Lawyers there obviously backing him up, and it was nice that the issue was addressed out there in the open, in public. Now let's get on to the primary election. 58 days to go. I got to run, Si. Thanks very much for the time. I appreciate it.
That's the other thing.
You know how it is with us here. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, leave the building, go and find out where I'm supposed to go and vote, and then come back with guys like you and Phil when I get the chance and shoot the bull on where the last 60 days are, where the next 60 days are going to be like. Hey, we'll chat again soon,
shoot
Phil.
The bull. I like that. That's good, Ray.
All right. 888-825-5888-TALK from the Consolidated Commission on Utilities. Simon Sanchez, some thoughts on electricity, and you think it's bad here. Imagine, I can't. Number one, I can't afford the electricity. Number two, the electric companies aren't going to be able to give it to me in the kind of numbers that I need. 8:32 and headlines with Donna D coming up next.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Get a personal loan for that summer vacation or to pay off those long overdue bills. Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $3,900 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña, now at the old Nambo Insurance Building at 475-4545, Upper Tumon 647-5626, or in Dededo 633-4473. Family Finance, here to serve you.
Subway's Eat Fresh Refresh brings you the sequel to the Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki. Enjoy the new Sweet Onion Steak Teriyaki. Delight your taste buds with tender, juicy steak marinated in the tangy new Sweet Onion Teriyaki sauce and stacked high on toasted artisan Italian bread, topped with American cheese, green peppers, red onions, and drizzled with the tangy new Sweet Onion Teriyaki sauce. The new Sweet Onion Steak Teriyaki is the height of food craveability. Give in to your cravings at Subway. Eat fresh.
833, that's the time here on the Ray Gibson Show. You got the telephone number. Don't be shy about using it. Interesting comments on the YouTube side and on the Facebook side. When I get around to it, I'll take a look at some of them and see if there's any requests in there on things for me to riff on this morning. Though I don't know what kind of time we're going to have for a lot of that anytime soon. After the headlines, Dave Del Sol from the Department of Labor is coming in, and then there'll be the sweet reunion with Chanel in the studio as well. It's been a while since she has graced us with our presence. Also be interesting to see what she's got to say about watching people that were in the media now jumping into the public sector for this election. And maybe I'm wondering if there's any warnings in there for any of them from somebody who did exactly that and ended up over at the governor's office and ended up over at the Department of Public Health and now the Department of Labor. And then a little bit later on, we're going to spend some time with who's coming in? Docomo Pacific. Going to be coming in. We'll find out what great business solutions they're going to be offering up here this time. 8:34, and now with the last big look at news and headline, here's Donna D. Of it.
A man.
What happened?
A man accused of stealing from a Dededo residence was arrested and caught with drugs. The victim told police that she saw 28-year-old NP Comis standing about 10 feet from her home on Monday morning. When authorities checked the area, Comis was seen jumping off the balcony of another residence and running into a nearby jungle area before officers caught him. During a search, police found a glass pipe with meth. Comis was charged with possession of a Schedule II, theft of property, and criminal mischief. And the son of Suruhanu and Export Authority police officer Frank Cosa Nicholas testified in Superior Court yesterday, apologizing to a woman his father is accused of sexually assaulting 2 years ago. He told the court he had met his father at Tengisan Beach the day before the incident and noticed the woman with him. Assistant AG Rochelle Canto says Frank St. Nicholas took the woman to a remote cave for a spiritual massage when the sexual assault occurred. He was acquitted in December of 2021 of similar charges involving allegations by a different woman. Meanwhile, the Guam Visitors Bureau received the Best Organizing Booth Award at the Seoul International Travel Fair. The 4-day event last weekend was hosted by the Korea World Travel Fair and is one of the largest international travel fairs in South Korea. GVB President and CEO Carl Gutierrez says Team Guam worked hard during the overseas mission to showcase the island and reconnect with the international travel trade to rebuild the Korea market. And the Guam Election Commission saw 6 filers on the last day, including Democratic Speaker Therese Terlahi and radio and TV personality Daryl Chris Barnett. Guam Election Commission Executive Director Maria Pangilinan says that the filers are not official candidates for the primary elections until GEC commissioners ratify the candidates for governor, delegate, senators, and attorney general this Friday. There are 38 running for senator, 21 Democrats, and 17 Republicans. Doug Moylan and Levin Camacho are the candidates for AG, and Jim Moylan, Talina Nelson, and Judy Wampat are running for Congress. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point.
All right. Now, I feel bad because, this last day to file, and, obviously Chris Barnett and Therese Terlahi are going to get some amount of play here. But there were others that filed their candidacy papers yesterday besides Chris and Chetch. Roy Gamboa is right. He ran
Well,
once.
wait a minute.
The commissioner. I always
Okay,
call him
Commissioner Gamboa.
Commissioner Gamboa. So he put his hat in the ring, and so he's going to be doing that at the same time that he and the rest of the family are out doing. Not going to be able to do too many fundraisers for him because he's busy doing a lot of fundraisers for his brother Joe, who was in that terrible accident over at Payless a couple of weeks ago. There's constant reports about how much better and how his condition seems to be improving. So yeah, absolutely. But as he gets better, the cost for his hospital stay and treatment, are still running. So there's a fundy going on. When is this going to be, Joe?
I
Sunday?
believe it's Sunday. This Sunday.
All right, Sunday evening. No work next day. Over at the venue, one of my favorite bands on Guam, Mixed Plate, is going to be there. I love watching these guys.
Word.
Oh my God, there's so much talent in that group.
Rumblefish?
DUB is going to be there.
Yes.
Rumberfish, Taj, Melody, and Bell and Company. Go for the music, obviously. Stick around. There's what does that look like? $20 cover charge? $25 cover charge.
Man, help a brother out.
Pay happily. Would you throw back for Joe G? It's a fundraiser over at Venue on Sunday night. Don Ekalani, he has run before. Is put his name back in the packet. Ian Dale Catling and Angela Therese Anne Marie Santos. And if my memory serves me correctly, she is named after former senator and cultural hero Angel Santos.
Oh.
Yeah. Familia.
I need to know more.
Thank you very much. Well, there will, I hope, be ample opportunities to get to know some of these people in the next 58 days between now and the primary election. 20 away from 9 o'clock in the morning. Dave and Chanel next.
Hafaday, this is Josh here at APO. Our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APO is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apo.com.
Howdy, folks. It's KFC's Colonel Sanders, and I'm bringing you a delicious KFC chicken flavor just in time for summer. Introducing my new KFC Grilled Teriyaki Chicken. It's our great KFC grilled chicken made with an authentic sweet and tangy Japanese teriyaki sauce that the whole family will fall in love with. Pick up a bucket at your favorite KFC location and bring home the teriyaki love today. KFC's new Grilled Teriyaki Chicken is available for a limited time at your favorite KFC location. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Check out the newest hydro and garden center to hit Guam, Crop King Hydro. We have a huge selection of plant nutrients, soils, hydroponic mediums, organic pest control pumps, plant support, tools, and so much more. Call 635-4769. 635-GROW. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 at the Dededo Satina Mall, right across from Payless and Paradise Fitness. For whatever you grow, think Crop King Hydro.
Crop King Hydro. It's 20 away from 9 o'clock in the morning, and Real Joe reminded me that we're doing Kili checks today. Chanel automatically in defensive mode. I don't judge anymore. I'm not. This is the new and improved Ray Gibson. I don't judge anymore on things like that. It's all based on personality, right, and feelings. Anyway, so portions of the program I feel brought to you by my friends Ron and Kim over at Security Title. If you're doing some buying and selling anything having to do with real estate, make sure that they are on your team. Title, searches, security, things like that, escrow, and more available with Security Title.
Bringing you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Watch and listen live on ThePOINT.gu.
Okay, good. You can see everybody. Visual radio. That's the technique that we're talking about here this morning. Welcome back to. If you're just tuning in, what did you miss? We had Simon on the radio earlier. We talked with Sel about the traffic and getting into a little bit more priorities for mass transit. Jerry Roberts, extra. It's a whole show here. And at this point in the program, we got an opportunity to remind you about something big that is going to be taking place in just a couple of days over at the what might be still one of the largest venues available for something like this on Guam, and that would be the Ballroom over at the, what's the name of the hotel?
Riga
Hotel. Okay.
Riga Laguna.
So I recently had a chance to go in. It's remarkably similar to the Sheraton. I don't know if you guys
They mirrored it.
They mirror image of the Sheraton.
Rico Royal.
So under new management, I suppose, and I'm sure that they left at the opportunity to host this job fair, because I'll bet they need people too.
Yes, they are not only hosting, but they are participating.
They are.
Exactly the point. Exactly the point. We'll back up here. Obviously, we've got Dave Del Solo, the director of the Department of Labor, in the studio, and Janella Carrera is in the studio with us as well. And obviously, we're going to spend some time talking about the big job fair that's coming up. But before we do, preamble into that, by way of prepping people for the job fair, you had the job readiness workshop. The second one was yesterday. How'd that go?
Oh, it went great. It was fabulous.
Packed.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Packed. Very full.
Okay, so there are a lot of people out there that taking up the opportunity here to kind of upskill their skills when it comes to putting together a resume, filling out an application, sitting through the interview, and all of that.
Yes. They learned directly from the people that hire the secrets and tips and everything you wanted to know but were afraid to ask.
Now, did you sit in on any of that?
I went in at the very beginning on the June 1st. And met with and these were a lot of people that were eager.
Well, I mean, did you
learn
learn anything? I mean, I'm not saying that you're going to need a job anytime soon.
No,
You used to teach the courses.
I used to teach a course like that, so I gave some of the young people some tips.
Oh, interesting.
On what they should, because they lack job experience, so they don't understand that. Hey, you're on a team sport. That, you follow directions, you play as a team. That's what a lot of companies are looking for. If you do volunteer work, then that kind of stuff for the church, good moral character. You babysit, you take care of somebody. That shows responsibilities and that people trust you with their kids. That's another good trait. So there's a lot of things that the young people can put into their job applications as experience that
not necessarily related to a 9-to-5 job somewhere.
But it relates to a job when you do teamwork and you got responsibilities and you show up on time and
absolutely.
So there's a lot of
a handful of things right there at the top that will as soon as the boss sees that you're a comer, those are the kinds of things that usually lead to more opportunities in the shop.
A lot of these kids, they
bigger,
got
more
computer
assignments.
skills. They are off the wall, and that also is a great help. With I have these young kids that are doing all my computer work nowadays at my department.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, we were talking about this earlier. The iPhone has been around literally for 15 years.
Yeah.
And
their whole life.
Their whole life. They have no idea what it was like for us when we were in the working world. We start talking about.
Or when I had that big brick,
a Motorola MTX 800. I had one. I had one of those as well. Fax machines in the office, and all of the things that they can do on their phone that you and I had a whole room dedicated to back in the olden days. So the job, the workshop went okay, and now we've got a bunch of people that are qualified or have some of the skills that they need to do an outstanding job when they show up and find an outstanding job when they show up over at the Riga on Friday.
Yeah, so they now know how to put together a quality resume. They now know how to prepare for an interview. So we have a bunch of people that are trained to do that.
Yeah.
So now they can show up to the job fair on Friday, and they can actually get hired on the spot or get interviewed on the spot.
Well, and I've been joking with you guys, that we don't need to do so much by way of training and resume writing. There are people that will hire you just because you showed up to the event.
Just because you showed up.
And there's going to be guys that want to be closest one to the door to see all the new ones come in. Hand out the application. I will hire you on the spot right now, especially in some competitive fields. You're going to have people walking through there that have got some IT skills, some construction skills and things like that, F&B skills, and those are in super high demand right now.
Yes, and if you come in there and you're well organized and you have your resume all together and you're dressed and you're ready to talk and ready to respond to them, they'll hire you right on the spot. I mean, I've talked to dozens of the employers, and they're saying they're ready to get them right there and right then. So be prepared. Come in ready to be interviewed. Ready. And if you're not, then just come there to explore.
If you're an IT guy, go in there and start shopping and figure out which one of the big telecom companies, and they're all there, which one of the big telecom companies are going to pay you the most and benefit you the way you want to be benefited.
We're going to have close to 90 employers, 90 employers there in the whole gamut of of the industries. So you can go there, look, shop, explore, see what career opportunities there are. And if you see an opportunity that you're not quite there or ready for, we have our training providers. You can see what kind of training that boot camps and certification courses that may be available. There would be recruiters there. So if maybe, like I said, my son, he went into
recruiters.
He went in there. And
Military
Army,
recruiters.
Navy, National Guard.
yeah, they're going to be there, and they'll tell you what they're. They got great opportunity. A couple of years, you get the GI Bill. You can go to school.
yeah.
You can go to career opportunities. They'll plan you for. So there is going to be, and our whole AJC staff is going to be down there, and we're going to have that restaurant.
That's
next door.
American Job Center is the AJC over at the Department of Labor. Now, how much of this are these jobs already in? Have we minted them into the Hire Guam process?
No, and it's just too massive. We're talking thousands of jobs, and I'm not going to hold up anybody. There's not going to be any registration at the front. We'll give you a card. If you fill it out, put it in a box. But we want to get them in and flow them and make it as the best experience as we possibly can.
It's been a while since there's been something like this.
Yes.
15 years.
15 years, yeah. I'm trying to remember where and when it was, because I'm almost positive I participated in. Yeah, you do.
At the Nico Hotel.
There we go.
At 2007.
That
I was director of AHRD.
That was 15 years ago?
Yeah.
I remember. In fact, I do remember. I was there, and I recall hiring one or two people from there. And I didn't want to go, but somebody reminded me that there's a federal requirement for us to participate in job fairs every once in a while.
That's probably me.
Yeah, it's probably you. And yeah, so I went out there, and all I could think of was the bar is too far away from where we are here. Could somebody get me a bucket and bring it over here if I've got to be in the place? But those were different times. Yes. Those were different times. Those were when it's the employers weren't necessarily always looking for new people in other job categories. It was always a bunch of employees looking for work. It was the opposite. Now it's backwards. Why is that still? I mean, I thought that there were going to be a lot of people once we got off the PUA program that would go immediately right back to work. What?
Well,
what are you hearing?
All you got to do is you see the trends in the States, and we've been following true to form. It's just been like an 8-month lag. And when you've, I'll anecdotally armchair it for you.
Yeah.
When you haven't worked for 2 years, and, you've been taking care of the kids, you've been taking care of the family, the house, you get into a routine. And sometimes it gets a little tougher to get out of that routine.
Absolutely.
You got a lot of people that were in the workforce that don't necessarily need to be in the work. My husband or my spouse works, so I'm going to take care. I'll work when it gets more.
The gas is $6.50 a gallon, and the electric bill's going up.
They kind of got used to being home.
Yeah, that's true.
They got used
That's
to.
why I think they're going to see thousands of people at this job fair. I think.
Well, I mean, there's jobs that you've got to be there for. Obviously, I mean, you can't phone in an F&B job in a lot of cases. You got to be in the kitchen, you got to be on the floor, you got to be at the cash register, etc. But there are arguably going to be jobs that people are going to be hiring where you might be able to maintain that work at home lifestyle
Or a hybrid type of job.
Yeah, there's plenty of. Oh, you got all the buzzwords. They taught you all the words, didn't they?
Well, that's come about because of the pandemic.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Well, you see all those things going on.
And let's face it. I hope this is the prelude to a lot of mini job fairs for the industries when they get in. So this is a good way for you to check it out, explore, so that when there'll be other job fairs coming in for the hotels and for the service industries and the various restaurants, and some of these are big players. Have you seen the list of?
I've been looking at the list. It kind of mirrors our advertising list. We got all the gas companies are in there. All the telecom guys are in there. There's virtually every restaurant on Guam of any kind of merit is on there. And in many cases, they're hiring for their existing gigs, but I'm beginning to hear about more of these businesses that are expanding their services. CPK is on the list. They've got a dozen brands under their roof anyway. But they've just opened up the CPK in Agania for breakfast. I'm sure you have heard.
Yes.
So there's a lot of these businesses that are in a kind of a growth mode, and they need people to back them up.
We've
on
added a few since the last iteration of this flyer went out.
By all means.
Yes, we have a wait list. going on right now.
Wait a
a
second.
wait list.
So, well, I don't want to, make you guys work over the weekend, but this is all day on Friday.
Yes.
Is it possible that, we'll do this weekend and maybe next weekend we'll do one of these things in, late July?
You have no idea how much work this is. Getting 90 employers in one room, getting them organized. This won't be the last time we do this.
Okay.
Let me put it that way. And this came about. The governor said, I want a job fair. I want it now. And I said, great idea, Governor. I want to do that too. So we're going to do it together. And they've been helping us getting these flyers up, getting us going. And she's very excited to show the island that people are ready to work and they are, now's the time that's right.
I want to ask you. I want to kind of go back to the Hire Guam idea here, but without saying Hire Guam, is there a way that potential employees can participate virtually? Is there a way that potential employers might be able to participate virtually?
Not on this one. This is all hands on.
Okay.
And like I said, what I'm trying to do here is kind of light the fire for future job fairs, so that when you one of these companies has a job fair on their own, you say, oh, I visited that company.
Right.
I was interested. Now I can go in there and get more drilled down information and for all the hotels and all this stuff. So, come out there and explore, this is a good way for me to get a kind of a survey of exactly what you're asking for. Why aren't you working yet?
What you been up to?
What's up with this?
Yeah.
There are going to be people coming in. We're going to be taking surveys. We're going to try to get an understanding exactly what's going on with the workforce.
Well, there are, I don't want to say disincentives for the workforce, but while we are in a public health emergency, there are additional dollars flowing into federal programs where people are saying, hey, I don't need to work. I got a little card in my wallet that'll allow me to go to Payless and buy all the really good meat and all of the real, all the heavy duty stuff and get me some crab legs every night.
But
But I think that
happens all the time.
Well, but now there are additional dollars flowing in there. But once we shut that spigot off, it might urge people to get off the couch a little bit faster.
If you really look at all these assistance, my program was the PUA program was the only program that really sustained you for not working.
Oh, yes.
And now it's a different reality. Yeah. The assistance programs now are coming in to help you survive while you look for work. They'll pay your rent. They'll pay your power. They help you with gas.
But there's no requirement. But there's no requirement to go and look for work.
Yeah, but
in
these are
virtually all of these
that
programs,
aren't going to help you really survive not working. These are all things that will help you get by. And then if you get a job, they'll help you get work and keep the family taken care of and that stuff. And these programs aren't forever.
Well,
They're
don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to demonize any of the participants in these programs. I'm just saying that there are some folks here that are comfortably poor, and they got just enough that they need, and nobody has to tell them what to do or show up to work.
There's a lot of people that need a little bit of help to get them to the position to go out and look for work.
And that's why we've got the job fair coming up.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll sell some more seats at the job fair, absolutely free, and don't worry about parking. Somebody's going to show you where to go and do all of this stuff, because I think it's going to be a huge crowd. It's going to be, it will be full like a gala just with the people that are going to be there. And you're talking about a ton of jobs that are going to be up for grabs. 500 is what's printed, but my guess is with the new edition.
More like 1,000.
Yeah.
More like 1,000. Yeah.
Some of these companies got over 100 positions available.
Oh, my.
Of course, that's, a whole gamut of skilled to unskilled. So that's what I'm saying. If you have, we're not just talking entry-level positions. We're talking a whole gamut of types.
CEO, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Aren't you already a CEO?
Well, it's a managing partner is the title that I have, and I've seen the CEO job here, and I don't necessarily want. I want the CFO. I don't want that one. I don't want the generally all the corner office stuff. I'm very, very comfortable here. But going back to skills and unskills, one of the things that I think is going to be attractive about this with the AJC there is you might not have virtually any skills or maybe nothing marketable. Talk to the guys over at the AJC, and they will point you in the direction of somebody like Mary Okada and the team over at GCC.
Trades,
oh my God!
Mariana's training. There's a half a dozen training providers with their boot camps all put out. There'll be truck driving, bus driving. We just did a
graduated a bunch of us.
successful bus driving thing for DPW, and we're looking at putting another cohort together, diesel mechanics. I mean, we're partnering very closely with GCC Trades and the UOG and Mariana's Training. So there's a lot of opportunity, and I have some dollars to spend on you if you want to get a new skill.
Yep. And now we've also got options there for people to, as employers, that go, yeah, tell you what, I'd like to be able to hire a lot of people, but I don't. Minimum wage is hitting me, and benefits are hitting me, and taxes are going to hit me. Is there any way that I might be able to bring somebody on board and have Dave Del Sola pay for the wages for this job?
There are some of those opportunities too.
Groovy.
Like I said, you have to come to me.
Mhm.
You got to show me what you have, and then I guess with federal funds, I have to show your eligibility.
Mhm. And that's it.
And yes.
But there's a whole lot here that is conspiring. This is just one component of many other components that are going on that will try to bridge the gap between the employer and the employee.
Yes.
And then once you get them under your belt, guys, all you got to do is take care of them, and don't take too much advantage of the employees. There's still OSHA and things like that. There's other Department of Labor compliance issues, and we haven't had a chance to talk about that. And we don't have a whole lot of time now, about a minute and a half. But tell me what you are doing with regard to employer training these days in areas like OSHA.
We have OSHA consultation.
Mhm.
We have fair employment that'll teach you workers' comp.
Yep.
So if you are, call us up. Don't wait to look for enforcement to come and see that you have violations. We are doing workshops on a regular basis at our facility, and we can come out to you and do a walkthrough.
Vital.
And my people can say, oh, there's some OSHA things here, the workers' comp things here, fair employment things. Do you have the fair chances? Do you have all the posters up? And you're not going to get dinged.
I was going to say,
just
Chanel,
help you get
next
the
visit,
complaint.
bring me a bunch of posters here.
Oh absolutely. We can schedule
they
that.
fell down during when Real Joe was
Still
cleaning the
working
kitchen.
on my 8x10 poster of me with standing next. But they still haven't. They won't print that one, but I'll get that up next time.
8:29 and 8:59 in the morning. Ray Gibson show until about 10 o'clock, and that's unfortunately all the time that we've got for Dave and Chanel. And it's too bad because I did want to ask. In fact, no, I'm going to do it because we're going to go into news late because I do want to take advantage of an opportunity to ask Chanel what she thinks of so many media people that are running for political office. Mana and Chris, Sabrina, and et cetera.
Well, Chris making it in just in the nick of time.
Yeah,
I found that really. I thought he wasn't going to do it.
Because he's picked up packets before.
Right.
I think we're the same day he and I went to pick up
all the rumors were
packets.
swirling that he was going to run, and then I thought I was just walking to my office yesterday, and I thought, I guess he's not.
Yeah.
And then I saw the news, and
So
he made it.
what can people expect? Having been a member of the media journalistic community, what
Who's
can
also considered things.
Yes, I'm sure. What do you suppose their life is going to be like if they are elected to public office?
The one thing that I can say is when I went in and I switched over to the dark side, right, and I became the director of communications.
I'm your last and best friend in the media, right? Everybody else has turned their back on you.
I practically became in public office when I was there, and I was in that glass house. I had rocks thrown at me, so I kind of know what it's like, right? Fair game.
Yep.
Right. So I just want them to know that it's going to happen to them.
I will be your last and best friend forever. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. KUSG Agania headquarters for Fox News, now on the air.
A top aide to former President Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, testified before the House January 6th panel this afternoon, telling the panel how Trump wanted to go to the Capitol on the day of the riot.
The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol." Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel.
Hutchinson said as an American, she was disgusted and felt the actions by the rioters were unpatriotic and un-American. Turkey has agreed to lift its opposition to Sweden and Finland joining NATO. Russia's invasion of Ukraine prompted the two countries to abandon their long-held non-aligned status, but Turkish President Erdogan had blocked it. America is listening to Fox News.
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park. Huff a Day! Celebrating tomorrow month, Whopper Wednesday is back. Every Wednesday in March, visit your participating Burger King, say, I love the Whopper, or who guides a Whopper, and get a free flame-grilled Whopper sandwich with the purchase of any Whopper combo meal. Top off your meal with French fries or onion rings and a refreshing Coca-Cola. Tell your familia and friends and enjoy your Whopper Wednesday. Available at BK and Aganya, Tumon Bay, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. See Tu'us Ma'asi from your friends at Burger King.
The accused New York City duck sauce killer has been released on bail while he awaits trial.
Glenn Hirsch of Queens, New York, is out from behind bars after posting $500,000 bail. Police arrested Hirsch earlier this month, accused of murdering a delivery worker back in April. After a long-running feud that started in November when Hirsch allegedly became enraged over a lack of duck sauce in his order from the Great Wall Chinese restaurant. Over the next few months, he allegedly damaged an employee's car, made threats, and pulled a gun on workers. When police searched his home for weapons, they found a stash of duck sauce in the fridge. Hirsch's lawyers claim police arrested the wrong guy. Gianna Gelosi, Fox News.
The leader of Scotland once again making a try for independence. First Minister Nicola Sturgeon has told lawmakers she plans to hold a new referendum on Scottish independence in the fall of 2023, despite Prime Minister Boris Johnson saying it wasn't the right time for such a vote. Scottish voters rejected independence in a referendum in 2014. Some July 4th traditions will not take place this year in some spots in the West.
Phoenix throws cold water on its three major Independence Day displays since it could not get its hands on professional-grade fireworks. Several other cities around Phoenix will light up their shows, but Flagstaff switching from fireworks to lasers due to wildfire concerns. The popular northern San Joaquin Valley fireworks show canceled over drought concerns. Lompoc on California's Central Coast and Castle Rock in Colorado also passing on their pyrotechnic displays over worries about wildfires. Despite the most destructive wildfire season in New Mexico in modern history, Albuquerque and Santa Fe are going ahead with their shows. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Wall Street stocks slide as inflation worries persist. The Dow minus 491, the Nasdaq off 343 or 3%. The S&P lost 78 or 2%. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Are you looking for a new place to hang out with your friends? Let's go along the sidelines at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Located at 154 Iriarty Road, Unit 4 and 5 in Tamuning behind Royal Bigs. Sidelines, a hidden gem with nothing but great things to offer. Great atmosphere, great food, top shelf drinks, and a great team. What are we waiting for? Let the fun begin at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Open daily from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. See you there.
Are you looking for job opportunities? That's perfect. Taiho is a company based in Korea that provides opportunities for people to work at production sites in the United States. They offer a wide variety of jobs that may suit you. Come and check it out. For more information, visit www.gotomainland.com or go to their office at the old iConnect building or call 671-648-9788. What are you waiting for? Go grab that opportunity and fly out to the mainland.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more together.
Wait, I got to talk again? This
is a Ray Gibson show, man.
Don't we play songs anymore?
Welcome.
FM's supposed to be the music, not talking so much. 6 after 9 o'clock in the morning. Portions of the program brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. You're going to get the Hungries later on. Swing by Wendy's. Delicious, nutritious, and diet-friendly salads that they've got there, including the strawberry chicken salad. It's summertime. Get that flavor in there. So we got the strawberries, applewood smoked bacon, herb marinated grilled chicken breast. I can imagine there's a lot going on flavor-wise here. Candied almonds and or almonds, whichever you prefer. Sometimes I don't. I'm sorry. It's one of those things. You know, I went to private school. You'd think they'd have taught me something like that. Anyway, 3 cheese blend and a sweet and tangy champagne vinaigrette on a bed of chopped lettuce. That's why they make it a salad over at Wendy's. We got you.
The Ray Gibson Show. Any speaker, anytime. Morning talk that matters.
Application. You know, we earlier today we're playing around with some technology. Today is the 15th anniversary of the iPhone. Today is the 50th anniversary of the Atari system, and I guarantee, now I don't know about Ed, but Jeff and I certainly have done our time with the old Atari systems, right?
Absolutely.
Did you have one of those things? Was that your introduction to technology, Jeff? Jeff Menabusen, incidentally, is with Docomo. We're going to spend some time talking about some GWiz technology that you guys are working on. So was that your introduction to?
I have to say the Atari 2600.
Yeah. It even knows the number of the thing.
That's the first one I remember. How about you, Ray?
Atari was. They didn't. How do I want to say this? I got my hands on a gaming console. Had to be 1976, maybe 1977. It wasn't an Atari. It was Japanese. It was a Japanese console, but it didn't have cartridges. It had all the games were just kind of built into it, and there was a little menu that you went down. And unfortunately, it was in Japanese. The instructions were in Japanese. The manual was in Japanese. But you know, if you had enough sense that God gave horses, you might be able to make it through. And then when the Atari systems came out, and you've got a cartridge that you can change the games. You go and buy new cartridges, and then you go to Mario's Electronics and find out if they got any new cartridges to play with, and all the different stores that sold it. It's just crazy. We don't have that kind of cool. Well, I guess we do. It's just very much more expensive now. I don't remember what the Atari set my mother back, but it wasn't that long ago that I was looking at what number PS was I looking at? The 5? 5.
Yeah.
And
those are rare right now.
If you could get them on base, they were like $500 or $600, for everything. But nobody was selling it for $500 or $600. They would go to the base and then stand outside the fence and sell one to you for $1,200.
Yep.
And I think it's still there, right? The prices are still up there.
Yeah, it's still within that range, and you'll see some people actually posting on Facebook like 2 times the amount they bought it for.
Right. What's the matter with you? But, that's where the state of technology and the gaming has certainly changed. And as I say, for a lot of people, maybe that is the gateway to technology. And after I got, done playing with the Atari, we had bought ourselves an Apple IIc, and that was the introduction to computers. So I might have been one of the most frustrated people in the whole wide world. I'm happily into a Mac right now, which is trying to keep me away from all of the Windows 11. Have you guys have a problem with Windows 10 over at your place? You got a whole guy that does nothing but go and fix the problems.
Yes, we have a whole department actually.
Because Windows 10, I got to check it. I mean, I want to see if the Docomo guys have the same problems that I do. There's a guy right in every company whose job it is to go around, and every time Windows updates Windows 10 is to go and figure out what got screwed up and fix that. You got that guy?
Yeah.
Can I borrow him every once in a while? Can you send him over? I need a Windows 10 Kuya. Anyway, Docomo in the room here, and the talking points are here. What is Docomo Pacific TV? What? Okay, well, we'll start with that. Isn't there already Docomo Pacific TV? You guys bought Guam Cable TV,
yep.
And then that turned into to MCV, and MCV turned into Docomo back in the day, if I remember the genealogy of the company. But it always been based on television.
Yep, absolutely. And Ray, thanks for that intro. So now we're introducing this app-based TV experience called Docomo Pacific TV Plus. And it's just a next level in IPTV, managed IPTV services that we're providing.
Sounds like OTT to me.
Yeah, well, technically it's IPTV, but it's similar to a lot of the over-the-top media platforms like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and so on. So,
okay, is there a website that I can go to and put up on the screen where people might be?
I have the application on my phone if you want to take a look, and I know you have Docomo Internet, so we're able to.
I am a customer as well. Okay,
yeah.
so you've got the app running there?
Yeah,
Is
I
there?
have it on my phone.
Do I have any? Is there a browser base that I can go to?
There is. Shoot, let me get the link real quick.
Yeah, well, because I can actually put that up on the screen while we're talking about it, and everybody can see it. So, and while we're doing this, Jeff, maybe a little bit about what's the difference between having the cable at your house and having an app to be able to watch TV.
Yeah, thanks for that question. So, it really is the difference of having.
Move closer to one. Yeah,
sure.
much better.
Yeah, it's really the difference of having. Any household, any business these days has more than one television,
Mm-hmm.
and so each the traditional way of doing it with a set-top box, each additional television just adds additional complexity to the hardware,
Yep.
to the setup, to the installation, to the support and maintenance of it. On top of that, the cost of it. So this is really kind of aligned with where the industry is going as far as cutting the cord and to really simplify the installation, be able to offer channels that customers really want at the simplified pricing structures that you pay for the channels you actually use. Right, so
people have been yelling at the cable industry to do that since the beginning of the cable industry. I don't want the Rosary Channel. Don't. I never watched that channel. I'm not a big sports guy, and I'm the only one. Frankly, if you take a look at where the numbers are, sports is the number one draw, over the top, set top, whatever. Sports is the big deal, and an incredible consumership on that.
Yeah,
so I know a lot of guys that frankly that's all they want was the sports channel.
And the other key point to that is the DTV Plus, the majority of the feeds are in high def by default versus what the cable delivery, the default is standard definition.
Yeah.
So you have to end up paying higher cost for high definition, where DTV Plus out of the box is going to deliver HD channels.
Okay, so
with your local channels.
Yeah, I was going to say local channels included in the system. So everything is going into basically the same pipe. It's basically internet television, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we've got, but it is something that is put together and devised, and so we've got a menu that is going to be a little bit maybe more familiar, more welcoming, exclusively for people on Guam.
Yep, there's a channel guide there, and you'll see your local networks. You'll also see those HD.
Did you find that link? I meant
Yes,
you
I sent it to you.
Okay, you send me the.
So the
you send me the
first
thing?
link I sent is our DTV webpage on our business site, and then the second link is the actual portal for the DTV.
I'm going to forward that to a way that I can play it on the screen here while you guys are talking about this. So in my head, I'm imagining something that looks like Netflix, something that looks like Hulu, something that looks like Amazon Prime, but will be specific to Docomo.
Correct.
Okay. And you said, as you said, we got the local channels are going to be in there.
Yep.
So how is this going to be priced? And well, I'll back up, because a lot of the function of pricing for television is a per sub rate that the networks will charge you. That is almost never ever negotiated in favor of the cable company or the subscribers. So in this case, how much of that is a component on the price?
Well, because of the removal of the equipment rental fee, it really the dollar goes more directly to the content. So we're really eliminating that sort of unnecessary infrastructure now.
Exactly,
and
just on top of the program fees, that's the price that you get. So it's a lot more flexible. In terms of the pricing too, customers can avail of what channels that they want to. We have these things called passes, channel passes. So for example, our basic lineup, you have about 19 channels.
Right.
That includes your local broadcasts, and then some other channels like our channel guide, and then the step up would be the DTV Prime, which is an additional 39 channels, and that includes more of those sports channels, more of the other networks that we're affiliates with.
There's a business component that you're talking about here, and it's got me thinking about watching TV at work. And now, when I was at cable TV 100 years ago, we actually had a drop in the dining room in the employee lounge, so that when it got to be lunchtime, the yayas from accounting would sit there and watch their soap operas and eat their lunch at the same time. And that was about all I could figure. We needed a business, a drop in a business. But are you guys, in talking with your business customers, Ed and Jeff, are you talking to them about maybe expanding, not necessarily for entertainment, but being able to use this Docomo TV to help in their businesses?
Yeah, so I think you talked about like advertising or ad sales on the platform, and that's something that we are working on, but at the moment it's not ready. But
Okay. Well, no, that's okay because I don't need any more competition on the advertising sales side. Frankly, I was going to ask you because all of these systems are going to have what we referred to as the flipper channel or a guide or something like that. All I want you to do is have my voice, this radio station, as the background on your guide. Is something like that possible?
We can work something out.
Will there be a flipper
I'll leave
channel?
that to Jeff.
Wait a second. Will there be a flipper channel on this? Okay, to the uninitiated, the flipper channel is if you go to the current guide on Docomo, where it's got the channel guide and things like that. Okay, that's the bottom half of the screen. The top half is basically announcements, sometimes paid, sometimes PSAs, and sometimes housey stuff. Will that continue?
That network is still on this lineup, so the basic at least.
Okay, so
and then if you want, again with your example about like businesses watching soap operas in their lunchtime, or whatever, so businesses can actually pick and choose what passes they want to purchase instead of it being, added to the full lineup, and you have to pay the associated price. So, for example, if a business like a restaurant or a bar just wants to stream sports instead of all the other things, they could just subscribe to the sports pass or the news pass. We have these genre passes that you can take a look at, and I think it's something customers can definitely use to fit their business needs.
Okay, had not thought about that. So if you've currently got a set-top unit that is feeding between it and a switcher or something like that, feeding a bunch of televisions in your business, your bar, your restaurant, or whatever, all of that now can, and they're smart TVs anymore, so all they got to do is connect the smart TV to the internet, and then you go to the DTV Plus, and then tune into whatever it is that you want on that screen.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so
pretty seamless.
Well, once upon a time they were talking about the million channels, and we thought, wow, the backbone of that, the technological backbone of that would be just incredible. And then it was explained to me, and I said, no, one wire. And multiple channels that you can switch from one to the other to the other. It's not like we're sending all of these channels to you simultaneously. We will send you an internet broadband signal, and that's what will be used to go up and down.
Yep.
Right. But now we've eliminated a step here in that set-top box.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So let's just use that bar and restaurant analogy, right? So right now, that's one of the inhibiting factors of to being able to deliver that good customer experience is you have to have a set-top box for each one of those televisions. The DTV Plus approach is an over-the-top delivery method, as you indicated earlier, eliminating the hardware, and for each account, you can have up to 4 concurrent streams. So,
I'm actually in love with the idea now because when where I live, I didn't think it was going to be appropriate for me to go and become a cable subscriber again. I'm one of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm not
Cord
saying
cutter.
I didn't cut the cord on purpose. It was just one of those things I just didn't think I needed anymore. I have the internet at my house. I've got a smart TV, and in the back of the television, I bungeed an Apple TV in the background. So I've got the Docomo, and I can watch the TV at the house, and that's how I communicate. But here's the thing. Is I'm missing out on a whole lot of other streaming media, actual television. I'm missing out on that. Every once in a while, somebody will say, "Did you see what was on the cooking channel?" I said, "I haven't seen the cooking channel in 5 years. What are we talking about?" Or real ESPN. I'd like to be able to get Fox News over at the house, but I have to have a subscription for it. Even on the Apple TV, I've got to be able to say, "Oh, I'm with Docomo Pacific, and here's my account number." So I've been missing out on all of those things and what is familiar terrestrial broadcasting. Because you can't get KUAM or PNC on your Apple TV.
Exactly.
You can't get it anywhere else.
You can now.
You can
Okay. So that will fill in a big hole for a lot of people, and wondering, okay, how do we get back into this? It's nice to be able to call up your favorite movies or whatever, documentaries on regular streaming TV, but it would also be nice to be able to take advantage and find out what's happening in other channels, History Channel, Discovery Channel, and the
live
Movie
news,
Channel.
Live
oh my God,
sports,
yeah,
local
something familiar
channels.
too.
Yeah, all that.
Okay, now this is going to be one of those questions again. Is going to say, well, I don't know. Should he ask that question? Somebody's listening right now that is not a Docomo subscriber for internet at their home. Maybe they're a GTA subscriber, right? So your system would be agnostic to that pipe. You don't really care who's putting the pipe in there, right?
No, we have to. It's actually
But it has to be a
network. Yeah,
it has to be on. I have to be able to be on a Docomo wire.
Docomo Pacific internet subscription. Yeah, that's the only way DTV would work. And I guess, kind of plugging into what we talked about last time with Plume WorkPass, and it's great because you can bundle the service with Plume WorkPass.
You got to get me a demo. No, I'm serious. We got to work on an in-studio demo. Not an in-studio demo, a demo for my business. Yes. That phone thing that you guys were talking about is going to be a game changer. I want it.
And I don't know if you recall, but the adaptive Wi-Fi that we talked about, how like the Plume pods optimize the network bandwidth based on usage. So actually, let's say mom's streaming DTV in the room, and then you have like the kids browsing on the internet using less bandwidth in the living room. So the network will allocate more bandwidth to that streaming device because it's using more, right? Because the AI works that way, and it's just better experience. And so you pair those two products together, it's better experience for the customer overall.
The flyer says Disney Plus. We're not geo-fenced out of Disney Plus anymore?
No, I think it's available now for Guam.
Really? Okay, because I tried a couple of times to use it, and it said that it's not available in my area, and I didn't. I was too lazy.
It was like a couple months ago.
I was trying. I was
1 month ago, maybe.
Oh, it could have happened 10 years ago. If I tried once and I couldn't do it, then I just go forget it.
I don't need VPNs anymore.
Don't need VPNs. I'll always need VPNs. Okay, and there's bundling because it's Docomo, right?
Yeah.
So if you're already in the family, the Docomo family in one place, we just add this to your deal, reconfigure your prices, and then come up with some magic number.
Yes, absolutely.
And can we talk about platform compatibility? You mentioned your Apple
TV. Yeah.
Yep.
So absolutely, DTV Plus is an app that's installable on the Apple TV. That's what I use at my house.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely. And for brand new customers, we provide a free Amazon Fire Stick, so it's compatible with that.
Wow.
It's compatible with many smart Android TV platforms, like Samsung's one of the known compatible devices. So
I got a Sony.
I'm not sure about that, but if you have any questions about device compatibility, give us a call.
Well, and like I said, the reason why I have an Apple TV is because Sony didn't have. There were certain things that I wanted on the Apple that Sony did not have configured on the television. I said, well, this smart TV got internet, got Wi-Fi, and like I said, I just bungeed the Apple TV on the back of the set and have never looked back. But now you're telling me, so I got the thing, so we can put it on the Apple TV remote control. Through all of that stuff. What's going to happen with all the set-top boxes? You're not going to retire this overnight, are you?
No.
You guys have made significant investments in addressable technology.
Yeah. We're keeping those just in case these legacy customers still need them. So, yeah, it'll be a transition, but a slow one.
Okay, but so from the perspective of I think like a technician every once in a while, one of the installers. So the installer will come to the house and take out the set-top box. And then what is there another box that we get, or does it come in on an internet?
Well, it's all Wi-Fi. So DTV Plus is compatible with any existing Wi-Fi system. So working along with our HomePass and WorkPass Plume platforms, which does the optimization for the quality of service for the streams. So no additional wires. Everything runs over Wi-Fi.
But so I got the Docomo thing at the house, right? I got a Docomo D-Mod. What do they call that? Modem?
The Plume Pod.
Plume Pod?
Super Pod.
Okay, so you get one of those things at the house, and then that sets up the whole internet that you need in the house, obviously, for your phones and your computers and things like that. And then you get the app on a computer or your smart TV or your Apple TV or your Fire Stick, and that's all you need.
And in a business scenario, let's say you want to allocate bandwidth, right, for these streaming devices, you can do so by setting these Fire Sticks to a specific Wi-Fi signal, and then on the Plume WorkPass app, you can allocate percentage of your bandwidth for that.
Okay, now you're talking about businesses, and I'm hearing moms go, "Oh, I need that for the kids. I need that. I need that."
That's right.
For homework, we give you all the bandwidth. If you're just screwing around on TikTok and Instagram, we're going to go ahead and so you'll still get it, but it won't be as good as the TV that I need to be watching in the living room or someplace. Yeah, there's so many different solutions. How do you keep track of them all? I mean, you guys have been here 4 times, and every time you come in, there's something new in here that almost makes me drop my jaw. And I think this one here is a game changer. Frankly, it's people have thought about this kind of thing before, of maybe putting together some kind of OTT here on Guam, and there's any number of places where you might be able to provide programming.
Can I just clarify? So you mentioned Guam, but we also offer this DTV Plus in CNMI as well. So that's
cool.
important.
Okay, yeah, there'll be people watching and listening while we're up there. But there's so many different ways that I want to be able to talk about how to do this. So is it all live, or is there any part of this Docomo TV plan that will say if you missed the news last night, we can give it to you as a video on demand. If you want to watch Max Havoc, we will give it to you on a video on demand. What was the movie channel, the Docomo movies or MCVs, the whole other movie package that you guys had before? You could also use that for video on demand. So while you can go and watch a KUAM or a PNC newscast in real time, would I be able to say, "Well, I missed it last night. Can I watch it now?"
Absolutely. Yep. There's
no
a
way.
replay feature. Yep. Video on demand.
There's a video on demand.
Yes.
Okay, so how far back does it go?
I have to double check, but
did the people over at Sorensen offer to sell you all the Ray Gibson good question? I'm sure they're there. I mean, we archived every show, and so I'm sure that all of that's available because that's kind of a big deal. So video on demand, will that be part of the service?
Yes, it will.
Or so there's no added cost to be able to watch something?
No, it's part of the package.
There be? Could there be? As an example, there's a whole lot of people that just knock down, drag out. We have to listen to this program all the time, and if I miss it, then I want to be able to offer it as a video on demand for $20 a piece. Can we do that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure our product team can work something out. And your questions before, I wanted to kind of get more information from last time. I think you brought up having space, I guess, and then I did get feedback from product director and. We can work something out. We just need to reach out to one of our team members.
I'm telling you, I'm ready for that CEO job over at because there's all these things. All of the things that you were talking about now are things that we wanted to be able to do with cable television, locally originated programming, et cetera, for the last 100 years. There was always there were always roadblocks in the way to being able to get there, and among them, as you guys know, is just storing the data and then serving the data. And bandwidth costs a lot of money to store and serve. So I'm glad that you guys have resolved those problems. Subscription format, wonderful. That's the way that you're going to do it. That's fine. But there's also advertiser based, and those are ways to be able to move forward with all of this stuff as well. Now, will I still have? How do I want to say that? Well, we have all of these live programs, live channels, just like anybody else in the Docomo family is going to have. I want to ask, will I have access, I want to say to almost like TiVo features with this? I mean, how is it?
Like DVR.
Yeah.
Well, on the business side, we don't have DVR recording, but if you are a consumer, you subscribe to the consumer product, yes, you can.
This is such a game changer. It's crazy. Do you have this online over at Docomo? Can people go over there and actually watch you guys? Have an online demo with somebody in customer service?
Yeah, you could come by, and I'm sure Jeff, Mr. Handsome over here, can set you up.
Handsome. Yeah, because I mean, it's a real experience. I mean, it's a major game changer for everybody. I don't know if I'm selling it enough here. We're talking about getting rid of the set-top box, which was a game changer when it first came out, in ways that you will never ever be able to comprehend. And now, so that's one less link in the chain between the viewer, the consumer, and what's happening on the programming
let's
side.
talk about the TiVo question, right? So because it is a cloud-based DVR platform, one of the really cool features that I find, if I'm navigating through the live channel guide and I click on a show, the first thing it'll ask me is, do you want to start the show from the beginning? That's pretty cool.
Never miss the intro of a show again. So for those of you that for whatever reason cut the cord, now is the time to start coming back. There's a world of programming. How many channels are you up to in the system these days?
Well, man, I think over 100 now. I have to double check. But yeah, it just depends on what pass you subscribe to.
Okay.
And then you talked about like set-top boxes was great at its time, but really when you think about content and flexibility, there was no real wiggle room with regard to those two aspects.
I also wanted to mention too, in terms of programming. I mean, I know in Guam there's certain customers that really want to make sure that they're still able to get their foreign language channels and their favorite channels off of our cable platform. Those are all available.
So they're still being fed into a head end somewhere, right? Okay, all right. So that's the easy part. HBO, Cinemax, all the movie channels that we're used to.
Yeah.
Can we? Because I enjoyed a TiVo system for a while. Sweet technology. But can I search? Is there a search feature? Can I say, I want to watch Hogan's Heroes? Where's the Hogan's Heroes?
Let me actually. Do you mind if I show you the application?
I don't mind. Go ahead. I had the flyer up on the website up on the screen, but it gave me a nag for a password and things like that. All right, so this is what it will look like. Indistinguishable from some of the other programming services that you've got. I'm just scrolling up and down. There's a guide.
Yep,
and there's a magnifying glass in the guide here.
That's where you search
HOGANs. Let's see if I can pull up Hogan's Heroes. Oh, no matches for Hogan, so it's not on. No, but it's got all of the. There is a guide here that you can look at, and it will tell you real time what's happening right now on all of the different channels. This is unbelievable, and it's in the palm of your hand. So I'm assuming that you'd be able to watch this in the palm of your hand.
So you could you could download the DTV app on the Fire Stick, or you can watch it on your phone if you're connected to a Wi-Fi signal, and you could cast that if you have another streaming device, right?
Okay.
Yeah, if you have a Google Chrome cache, you can cast it via your phone. Again, with the Apple TV, you can download the app there. Or if you have a smart TV that's compatible with DTV, then you can
So as I'm scrolling up on this, if I wanted to watch one of the shows, all I got to do is click the button. It'll take me to it. And as you said, Jeff, it'll ask me if I want to start it from the beginning.
Or if it's not airing live right now, it'll ask you if you want to record that when it's...
Oh my God! Okay, all right. So a lot of these incredible, TiVo-like super interactive features and things like that. Now, I was talking with an OTT company a few years ago before COVID hit, because it was a direction that I wanted to take our shop here, because as we you talk about content generation, we play 2 shows on this radio station, and we've got cameras in other studios with other star performers, and I'd like to be able to capture some of that and then put it into a mode where we can play it. So I was looking at an OTT option for us a couple of years back, and one of the other features was and something that I'm sure is in the code somewhere, because I'm always thinking about advertising. So if as an example, you're looking at sports, you're looking up bowling or something like that, it would say, hey, I see you're looking for bowling. Would you like to buy a pair of bowling shoes or a bowling ball, or maybe one of those little ball polisher things? And then you can click on that, and it will send you to Goodies or Hornet Sporting Good or Champion or something like that. Is that hardwired in? Have you rolled that feature out to businesses yet?
No, not yet. But
it's there, right?
It's something we're thinking about.
Okay, so in addition to being able to tell you that you can go to Hornet or Goody or Champion and buy that, how about press on this button and we can make the order for you? You can order it on your app.
Wow, that's next level.
That is very next level, but
I'll bet it's there. It's the last page of the manual.
But yeah, like profiles and recommendations.
Yes, I was going to say, for content though. Yeah,
if you if the application notices you watch this series, or if you like a specific TV show.
Would you like to buy the DVDs? Yeah, all of these kinds of things. The technology is out there, and then, of course, there's surveillance opportunities, although everybody that I know in the telecom family says, no, we never look at that. But the truth is, because all of this is what we like to refer to as addressable information, and has been for a long time, even with the set-top boxes, there ought to be a dashboard out there somewhere in Docomo land where you can say, you know what, cannot tell you how many people like watching roller derby or WWF. I mean, how many, how much of that information do you guys capture? You should be able to get some demographic and viewership statistics. We neither confirm nor deny that we have surveillance capabilities. But, I mean, somebody's got to be looking at that and saying, okay, we know people like movies, we know people like sports, but, what are the secondary, tertiary, other things that people like? Can you tell by looking, at least through your system, whether more people watch KUAM news than watch PNC news? Those are questions that folks want to get answers to. You know, where we're doing local insertion of local ads, how much viewership are those kinds of things getting? Because it's all digital now. The information's there.
Yep. I can't confirm nor deny.
No, but those are your questions. Those are relevant business questions, and obviously that makes a lot of sense. You know, we're not the folks that have those answers, but we can certainly.
There's a corner office up there in the Docomo building. Okay.
I know someone who knows someone.
I got a guy, right?
I got a guy.
The Kuya. So last thing before I let you guys run is there's a building in your parking lot, like a trailer that. What goes on? Is that just a drive-through payment thing?
It's a drive-through.
Absolutely.
I thought you guys were doing Skunkworks technology in there. I was almost positive. This is like there's like the mad scientist over at Docomo can't work with anybody else, so we gave him his own building in the corner of the parking lot. Yeah, Dexter's lab, if you will. So you tell me it's just the drive-through payment?
It's drive-through, yeah.
Boring. Come on. Okay, next time make up something before we'll agree on something. Did we cover everything? All the practical stuff and the high level esoteric.
The only thing I can think of we didn't mention, which we should, is that the DTV Plus platform is available on. We already talked about the mobile phone platforms, but tablets as well. I don't know if. Just to make sure that you iPad users and other tablet users know that you don't need to get the big 70-inch TV.
It's an app.
It's an app.
Kids don't watch big TVs anymore. I don't think young people are impressed with big ass TVs anymore. I know plenty of that have them, and whatever it is that you're watching on your big TV, they're perfectly comfortable watching it in on a stand.
As I shared the link with you, there's also access via the browser, like Google Chrome, Explorer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So ubiquitous, and I was looking at the prices that you showed me a little bit ago, and definitely in line with the expectations. Because that's the other thing that happened when your Hulus and your Netflix and your Amazon Primes came out. Is all of a sudden people say, "Well, I'm looking at that for $9." Well, guess what? It ain't $9 anymore. There have in the last couple of years been some significant hikes, several percentage points worth of increases for these subscription-based services, and they're going to be going up. There's nowhere for them to go but up. And so if you start thinking about it, I don't use Amazon Prime that much. Maybe what I'm spending on monthly for Amazon Prime will be sufficient for me to get my basic channels from you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. And then that's the beauty. That's the real value behind DTV Plus is you get the channels for both an affordable price, and then you can customize it as you choose.
Yeah, totally diggable combination of features, and you can have this at your house. You can have it follow you around at your businesses. For information, how do we find you guys? Jeff, where's your contact, man?
We have an amazing team of account executives at Docomo. Feel free to reach out to one of them or even Jeff. And then also we have a business.docomopacific.com is our website.
Yep.
Feel free to check it out, and you can give us a call also at 671-688-2677.
Can I just download this thing now and sign up online?
No, you have to come in because we have to.
I hate going in. I don't like going to the doctors.
And then credentials. We'll be giving you credentials to actually log into the application.
Okay, all right, but one of these days, right? One of these days.
That's a good idea, Ray.
Yeah, I like that. I don't like to go in. I know you got a nice building and everything, and I know you want people to walk through the showroom and buy all of the electronics and the toys that you have there, phone and television related or not. But it's just one of those things. I gotta pull in. I gotta find a parking spot. Probably gonna make me wear a mask. No mask now. Okay. 9:39 in the morning. Okay, I've had enough fun playing with you guys. Now I'm going to break away. We'll come back with figuring out how we're gonna kill the next 20 minutes on the show.
Half a day. Patsy Gogui from Security Title here with information about what a title company does. The title side of our business determines who owns a property and guarantees your ownership with a title insurance policy. The escrow side acts as an independent third party, managing the transfer of money and documents between the buyer, seller, lenders, and others. Security Title has a management of real estate closings down to a science. Give us a call. We are here to help.
Everyone has a busy schedule these days, and sometimes we forget to schedule our routine dental checkup and cleaning. Don't neglect your dental health. Schedule one today with Dr. Robert Yang and his Smile Team, conveniently located at the East West Business Center on Marine Drive, Upper Tumon. Call us today at 647-8702 or 3. Again, that's 647-8702 or 647-8703. We make smiles happen.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tuman location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
It's 20 away from the top of the hour. Hi, Ray Gibson here until I'm not going to be anymore. For those of you that are going, well, that was an interesting technology conversation, Ray. I might be able to do something with that. But do you have any interesting technology features that you can share with me now? Do you have any interesting ways that you can wow me with your knowledge of technology on something that I can use right now? How many times, as an example, Real Joe, are you in a situation where you meet, you lock eyes, and you say, let's exchange WhatsApp numbers. What's yours? And you got to go through type the thing in, and then you press the call button. Okay, it's vibrating. Okay, that's me, and blah, 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 blah. You got to do all this other crap. Did you know, Real Joe, that there is a QR code available on WhatsApp?
No, I did not know.
You did not know. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go to your settings on your WhatsApp. That's what it looks like. And you see where there's a picture of me?
I do.
You do? Okay. There's a picture of me, and at the far end of that, and whatever your slogan is, mine is anima semper est, whatever, something. Courage is always rewarded in Latin. So we got that. And over at the end, you see that little blue square?
I do.
Press it.
All right.
Press the blue square
there
now.
You go.
Press the blue square at this time, and you will get a QR code. I don't want to leave it up on the screen too much because otherwise everybody will have my private number and bother me in the middle of the night.
That's
what that thing does.
I thought that was like a puzzle, man.
No, that's not Wordle, bro. So that it will all you got to do is show this, put the QR code and show it to the person's phone, and then they will their phone will read it. They'll scan it, and then it will go to it'll set up the contact on their WhatsApp.
Oh, that's so simple,
isn't it? Oh my God!
Yeah.
And I don't know how long that's been there. I was talking to this guy and we were exchanging
changed
numbers.
my life, Ray.
Oh my God! And now every time I show that to somebody, they're like, "Oh my God, you're a genius! You are the king of the internet! Congratulations! Thank you very much." And I don't know how that got there, when it got there, who put it there, and I want to say thanks very much to the dude that actually showed me how it works. So it's on WhatsApp. Go to settings, the little gear down at the bottom, and then go to your account settings and look for that little black the blue QR gizmo.
Yeah.
And your life you'll wonder.
I need a dude like that, man, that can tell me how to use things.
How did we live before all of that? 888-8255-888-TALK is the telephone number. Ray Gibson Show until it's not going to be anymore, which is, I don't know, in 15, 20 minutes or something like that. It's always weird coming out of an interview and trying to figure out how to kill whatever time that we've got for us. But I'm a weird guy, and I've been doing this long enough to be able to figure things out. How happy are you? Are you happy?
Oh, no, Ray.
Is your life better now than it was 2 years ago? Is your life better now than it was 4 years ago?
Exponentially.
Your happiness index, your happiness quotient, if you will. It doesn't have to always be about politics, but think about it. I have a friend of mine. God, it's a terrible story. I shouldn't tell it on the radio, but I'm going to. A friend of mine was writing on Facebook about how her and her partner have been talking about getting married for years. Uprooted lives, changes in lifestyle and habits and all of this other stuff. And within about, 5 months of getting married, the partner said, changed my mind, not doing it. Ouch! Ow! Ow! The sting. Hey, they write songs about things like that, and so I find my friend at a really, really low point in her life, and I said, you know what? I can only imagine how great it's going to be for you in a year. And just after you get past all of the the veil of tears, and go ahead and cry, mourn them. It's okay. I get it. Something crappy happened to you. It's all right. Be down in the dumps. As the mafia guy said, crap ain't roses. Sorry, it is what it is. And you are strong, and you will get past this. But imagine, after a year of all of this, imagine what your life is going to be like after you've discovered self-love. Baby, after you have discovered, what is cool about you that nobody else but you knows, and just imagine how much happier you're going to be. So I'm like, baby, call me in a year, and let's, because I want to hear everything there is to know about your adventure. Yeah. Gotta have that kind of attitude. It's bad things happen, and there's not a whole lot that anybody can do about it. I've had a couple of interesting years in my life. Who's the happiest guy you know? Me. I am. That's what I always say. If they ever find my body and it looks like a suicide, avenge my killing, avenge my murder. Somebody killed me. I'm incapable of even thinking about something like that. Anyway, the reason why is there's a survey. And it's a pretty big one, and they ask a lot of people a lot of different things. It's 1,000 respondents, 15 years and older, per country, and they typically survey 140 different countries to get this data. And I want to say it's Gallup. It's the Gallup guys. John Clifton says there is a global unhappiness index, and it's growing, unfortunately. Private and public leaders have got to focus on three things. One of them is improving the well-being of your employees at work. We'll leave some of that to Jerry Roberts, right? Is just try to put together, a safe, fulfilling, satisfying workplace for your employees, because they've discovered that you need them more than they need you. So they're going to start demanding that kind of thing because it will make them happier. And their concerns about global hunger. You see everything that's happening, cat food, with rift on all of that. And then there's a concept that I'd never heard before. And there's apparently an index for global loneliness. Global loneliness. Maybe, some of that's brought on. Yeah, right. Maybe some of that's brought on by, lockdowns and COVID-19 and things like that. But now it is something that's a little bit more relevant and a little bit more remarkable how many people feel lonely amongst themselves. And again, I don't know. I don't necessarily have that problem. I'm absolutely okay at the house, alone, but rarely ever lonely. I got a cat, right? And if I ever start to feel like the walls are closing in, I also have a backyard. Also got someplace where I can go and find some, I don't know, just someplace to go and relax. I find myself spending more and more time out there, scrolling through the internet, put on the radio station feeds, or hit my Spotify or something like that, and just annoy the hell out of my neighbors. And so I don't know, but apparently there is a growing global loneliness trend. World stress, they say, is at record levels emotionally. The second year of the pandemic was even tougher for the world than the first one. They are now able to quantify that. They say the second year of COVID-19 was emotionally worse than the first year of COVID-19. You can almost kind of understand why that is with the Groundhog Day syndrome that we've all found ourselves, this endless loop of sameness that has been coming up, and why we all seem to be running headlong into normalcy at every opportunity that we get. As 2021 served up a steady diet of uncertainty, the world became a slightly sadder and more worried and stressed out place. Now, you might want to know, because they do this in different countries, where the United States ranks in this unhappiness index.
Number one, Ray.
Well, actually, out of 122 countries with significant negative emotions, the United States ranked 20th. In 2006. 20.
That's pretty high.
Yeah. In 2021, the new number is 46th. So, and you're going, well, wait a second. Didn't you just say that we were unhappier So it looks like we're getting happier. No. What's happening is all the other countries are starting to feel miserable, more miserable than we are. So when you start thinking about traveling, try to travel to someplace that is happy. 10 away from the top of the hour, 888-8255, 888-TALK. So it took great pains. And I probably should have done it in different colors. But what you see on the screen is the last of the paperwork here from the Guam Election Commission, pending approval of the commission. These are the names that will appear on all of the different ballots out there. We have not one, but two guys running for office for the Attorney General's office. One of them's one of them's already got the job, and the other one is Eric the Eagles owner Doug Moylan, who wants to go back in there. You know why? Because there's too much crime and corruption on Guam, and there doesn't seem to be enough banging down hard on following the rules. And he wants it to be different. Again, do we need to throw a MAGA thing at this? Do we need to make the AG's office great again? Yeah. Something along those lines. So good luck to both of the candidates. I feel obligated to say that to both of them.
Good luck,
but
man.
everybody knows I really want Doug to win. And then we've got delegates. There are 3 candidates vying for the office of congressman here on Guam, including Jim Moylan,
Jimmy Craig
from Seoul, the presumptive Republican candidate for the job, because there's no other Republicans that are currently vying for it. On the Democrat side, it looks like it's going to be a shootout between Judy Wanpat, whose last name also belonged to a guy who sat in the congressman chair for a long time. I knew him. I thought he was a great guy, Antonio Wanpat. How great was he? We named the airport after him. This is the first thing anybody flies in, Antonio B. Wanpat International Airport. And so Judy wants the job that her old man had, and Telena Cruz Nelson is also vying for the job of delegate. Now, I'll say again, congratulations and good luck. May the best man or woman win. But everybody knows I want that Moylan to win the job as well. Sorry, I probably shouldn't say that out loud on the radio. But anyway, but you can buy ads here if you want to. Telena, Judy, you're more than welcome to buy some ads here at the radio station. Now I've broken down the list of some of the other jobs this way, and there's 10 incumbents. That is 10 members of the 36th Guam legislature that think they're doing such a great job that they need to be in the 37th Guam legislature. There's 22 other people that disagree with them, I think, if I look at the numbers right. So you've got, let me see, I mentioned them. I should probably go down the list. Incumbents that want to keep the job include Pito Terlahi and Telo Taitagui, Joe S. San Augustin. I got Chris Duenas. Always make a big deal about saying Joe S. because his old man was Joe T., who I could not have loved more. Just a terrific guy, great businessman, great political thinker and leader. Chris Duenas is in there. Biba. Sabine Perez. Tina Rose Munya Barnes, the current vice speaker, wants the job back. Joanne Brown wants in again. So does Amanda Shelton. Frank Blas Jr. and Therese Terlahi at the last minute, decides, okay, I'll run. I mean, there were people in our pandemic chat, the Points pandemic review chat. There were people in there that were going, hey, Dalo, where are you, girl? People want to know, are you in or are you out? Apparently she is in. So those are the incumbents that are coming back for the job. There are people that have had the job of senator before, and they're asking for that role back again. There are 4 of them. Sam Mabini used to be a senator in the legislature alongside baby sister Monasilva Tyron.
Biba.
So those 2 want to go back in. Former Senator Jesse Anderson Lujan wants
Biba, the body.
The mind.
Yes.
The mind. Jesse Lujan wants the gig back, and Kelly Marsh Taitano wants to go.
Wow.
Has not had enough. Maybe she misses getting a hard time from his honor.
Tells, yeah.
I'm just this is going to the degree that it was fun to watch. This will be fun to watch again. How many of these the what I refer to as the Balikbayans bringing it back into the 37th Guam legislature. Or it is possible that none of them are going to come back. None of the Bellick Bynes, none of the incumbents. There are an incredible number of brand new names, for which I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes talking about, because I'm with you guys. It's change. We got to get some change in there. I want to see an incredible freshman. I want to get a legislature. 15 people don't know what the hell they're doing, but are willing to learn how to get all that stuff done.
Courage.
Yeah, look, if you're an incumbent and you get out, one of these guys will hire you, right? So the new among the new ones, Dwayne T. Nicholas, Harvey Egna, who is he's one of us. He's a point guy. I will say Sandra Regis Seal, cousin Freddie Berdalio. Vote for him because it would have been what Auntie Annie wanted. Attorney Tom Fisher, and I already like the cut of his jib. I did, I think the only thing that we, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say, I think the only thing we disagree on is a little bit of Ray Tenorio drama in there. Ken Leon Guerrero, one of our guys, loves The Point so much he named his TV show after it over on Candid.
So sweet. Thank you, Ken.
Our buddy John Savaris.
Oh, Biba John.
Bunker Franklin Meno.
Biba Bunker.
Bistra Mendiola. That's TJ's Bistra Mendiola.
Right.
Absolutely.
Bistro,
Another
man.
big thinker.
Very smart lady.
Dave Chrysostomo. I'm trying to figure out which Dave Chrysostomo this is. It might be him or the other one. Vince Borja.
Oh, Vince.
And I want to support him only because I know that all of his wife's girlfriends, hot, smoking. Oh, my God.
Oh, there's your plan, Ray.
We need more fundraisers, bro.
There you go.
John Ananich.
Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? Vote for John.
And you want information on him? He might be doing some traveling soon, but back in time to open sidelines for lunch, baby. Dave Duenas is in there. He's one of us. Will Parkinson, not necessarily a daily contributor on the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live or anything like
Will
that.
Parkinson.
But I thought his old man was pretty cool, and I kind of want him in there because I know he'll shake things up.
Definitely going to cause some trouble in there, man.
Yeah, like Doug Moylan, good for talk radio. There's Roy Canata. Hey, son, how's that?
Hey, from the South, right?
Hey, I don't know, man.
Hey,
Canata.
is that Yamatic?
You got a 50-50 chance of getting it right.
There you go.
So, Alexander Duenas, Armando Dominguez throwing his hat in the ring again. Michelle Hope Titano throwing her hat in the ring again. I want to say she ran about 4 years ago. Sarah Thomas Netadog, who has been lurking in the government of Guam for years and years and years, all kinds of other things that she's done. Big contributor into our community here and wants to contribute at the legislature. Chris Barnett, radio guy.
Malfunction.
Television guy.
Yeah.
Fun guy. Your friend, my friend,
a man
our
of the
friend.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the name of his website? His handle at Gmail is Progress Pagu. Roy Gamboa. That's Commissioner Gamboa.
Oh, Biba.
Vote for him because you like his wife, Hannah.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Oh, and the
Good
kid,
people.
the little boy that they dress up
Yeah.
like a little Marine. So cool. Don Ekalani. You'll remember that name from a couple of years ago. Ian Dale Catling. Who new to the game, and Angela Santos, short for Angel Santos, wants to put her hat in the ring
related
as well. I believe so.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember how. Somebody's going to write it to me on the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live or something like that. So there we go. That's what we've got. A number of incumbents. We've got the interesting round of people in the media that are throwing their hat in the ring. Mana has been there before. And I don't know, you talk to her about the blessings of the opportunity to be somebody in the media that moves over into the public sector, or as Chanel mentioned earlier in the program today, almost feels like you're going to the dark side when something like that happens, and you're not going to have as much quarter as you think from among your colleagues and your peers in the media. So you always do that with a big grain of salt and very, very low expectations of help. 10 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I gotta go. We got a thing. Wow, we made it all the way through 4 incredible hours of talk radio today. Let's do it again tomorrow. For Real Joe, Donna De Jesus, Jerry Roberts, my name is Ray Gibson saying thanks so much for listening. Enjoy your Wednesday. Catch you here tomorrow. Right now, Fox News.
A look behind the scenes on the day of the riot. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. A top former White House aide before the House committee investigating the Capitol riot, Cassidy Hutchinson, telling the panel her former boss, Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, was warned of possible violence on that day.
It was becoming clear to us and to the Secret Service that Capitol Police officers were getting overrun.
But she told the panel President Trump was still planning to travel to the Capitol, and she was told he became angry when Secret Service told him he could not go there, even lunging toward the steering wheel of the presidential vehicle. On social media, Trump dismissed her story as fake. The Department of Health and Human Services has announced a vaccine strategy to mitigate the spread of monkeypox, saying it's expanding